Number 60, Larissa Daigle. Number 21, Kate Lamar. And now for the starters. Number 3, Lacey Peltier. Number 5, Amanda Thibault. Number 6, Kaylee Keyboard. Number 10, Riley Sibley. Number 12, Morgan Steele. Number 14, Gabby Martin. Number 17, Desiree Howard. Number 18, Shaylee Gendron. Number 23, Samantha Rock. Number 26, Sydney Philbrook. And keeper wearing jersey number 0, Lindsay Willett. The manager of the team is Emma Depray. The Warriors are coached by Mr. Doug Sear, and assistant coach Ms. Marianne McMurray, and volunteer coach Mr. Sean Buckley. And the line runners for the game are Laura Paterno, Cassidy Carlisle, Haley Hines, Sydney Toffel, Gavin Dunleavy, and Ian Roy. The officials for tonight's game are Mr. Thibodeau, Mr. Stett, and Mr. Jarrett. Our on-site athletic trainer is Mr. Andy Hellstrom. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and kindly remove your caps and direct your attention to the north end of the field. Then the national anthem will be performed tonight by Caitlin Kenny from Houlton Middle School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets that glared above their air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And good evening and welcome to the Johnson Athletic Complex here at Presque Isle Middle School, where tonight on WHOU we are about to bring you the Class C Girls Northern Regional Championship, featuring the defending state champion and number 1 seeded Fort Kent Lady Warriors taking on the visiting Houlton Shires, coming in as the number 3 seed. I am Tim Tweedy, joined by Steve Carmichael. John Humphrey is on the camera. Marco Almonte back at the station is going to be doing production tonight. Steve, this is a game we're looking forward to.
Very much so. How about the county teams? Only 2 teams from the county in Class C girls. They both meet up here in the Northern Maine final. And how's it feel to be on the other side now, Tim? You're used to coaching on down there, but now on the other side as a media member,
Yeah.
watching from the sidelines.
It's a little different, job changes and roles there, as well as family responsibilities.
Absolutely.
Of me up here hanging out with you, Steve, and I will tell you, on a cold, rainy evening, it's okay standing here next to you.
A little less stress.
And there is less stress, no question about it. As the Fort Kent team's going to come out wearing the home greens, they're going to have the ball first. Houlton traveling wearing the visiting whites. A decent crowd here on hand, braving the weather.
They split on the year, Tim. Each team winning on each other's home field, or they won at their home field. Fort Kent up there, Houlton down there, and Oh, a rubber match now.
That's right. First game of the year was in Fort Kent. The Lady Warriors picking up the 3-1 victory. And in the rematch in Houlton, it was the Shires picking up a 3-0 victory about 3 weeks ago. The Warriors off the opening kickoff just send the ball up into the left or right side, I should say. It's going to trickle out for a throw-in. As Houlton took that throw-in, went right to the Warriors.
A little bit of rain falling, Tim. I said there's not much wind either, but right now, if there is some wind, it's at the back of Fort Kent. Let's see if that plays to their advantage here in the first half.
Gabby Martin had possession. Is going to play it through to Lacey Pelletier. The Warriors with the ball just on top of the box in the 18. Shires looking to clear. It's going to be freshman Natalie DeLuca winning the ball out for the Shires. With the ball still in their defensive third. Bree Barton now with the ball, and the official is going to say, as the flag pops, it's going to be a Warriors throw-in. With it, Martin for the Warriors. Back to DeLuca. Good shield by Martin. She's the leading goal scorer in the season here for Kent. Shires looking to try to build up and go the other way. It's Sierra Hoops, a first-team all-conference player. Sends the ball out right near midfield for a Warriors throw-in.
So right now, Fort Kent controlling possession. Houlton unable to get it past the mid-line. We'll see if they can do it here.
The Warriors having good luck on this field on this season as they were able to come here and pick up a win against Presque Isle early on in the season before Presque Isle went to Fort Kent and got a result up there in a game that ended in a draw. This Warriors team has had some pretty good luck on turf. Of course, they won the state championship last year. Yep. That was a game that was on turf down in Hamden. As Bree Barton with the ball for the Shires looks to send across through the middle. Ball is going to be deflected out of bounds. Barton, who was just recently announced for the Shires, picked up some hardware, Steve. She was named the PVC Class C Player of the Year. Is only a sophomore. She's got 25 goals on the season to lead Houlton. As the ball's played through, here's a good opportunity coming up for Morgan Sear. Tracked down and one out, though.
Yeah, 25 goals.
That's a pile.
Not a lot of games in soccer, and to compile over a goal per game is quite remarkable.
This is the 17th game on the season for each of these two teams as DeLuca looks to play a square pass through over along the side. The Shires with it. That's going to be number 15, Olivia Henderson. Looking to play it up through to Hoops. Hoops turns and tries to play it off a Fort Kent defender and was successful in doing so.
And Houlton's still advancing, even with a couple injuries on the bench. Of course, Samantha Johnson, she's injured, as well as Mia Henderson.
That's right. Yeah, particularly with Johnson, she had double-digit goals. She actually got hurt in the home game against Fort Kent. Turns out to be an ACL injury, so she's probably done for sports for the rest of this year. But I'm sure she's looking forward to getting back out and playing next fall. As we've got the Warriors in possession again. It's Martin. Good shield and one away by DeLuca. Elizabeth Phillips, rather, with it. Plays it to Hoops. Hoops going to look to send in through. It's Maddie Marino is going to put on a charge. She's got 3 goals through the 2 playoff games here for the Shires. Picked up 2 in the quarterfinal win over Calais, and then had the only goal in the 1-0 win over Mountain View. A good Mountain View team that dropped down from Class B to C this year. That game was a nail-biter. Maddie Marino came through, a freshman, with the only goal. Emma Ardell with the ball for the Shires. Looks to play in across into Barton. Cleared out one away by the Warriors. Ball's up and through by Desiree Hafford. Trying to play it through to Martin. Amelia Ivy. Stellar in the last game for the Shires, trying to keep Mountain View off the board. Well, a lot of folks watched that game earlier over the weekend. Steve said that she was the MVP of the game.
Yep.
As this ball's going to be played out, it's going to be a deep throw in. Almost near the touchline, looking to take it. It's going to be Riley Sibley. She's a senior midfielder. And now a corner kick coming up. First one of the game. It's going to be for the Warriors.
A set piece here for Fort Kent. Right now they're dominating possession. Play a nice possession-style soccer. Both teams do, but Fort Kent with a chance on a set piece here.
Here is Martin with the left hand all bandaged up. She's going to send a hard ball in through.
Yeah, all the way to the far post. You didn't see many players from Fort Kent coming onto it, but she put that ball in a perfect spot.
Struck on a line. Nobody with the win yet until Rebecca Howe, junior stopper for the Shire, is able to come away with the ball. Hoops looks to play a through ball. And Tebow good strong player out of the back for Fort Kent. Sends the ball out towards midfield. It's going to be a Houlton throw-in.
It'll be interesting to see how Sierra Hoops should get her a little bit more involved in the offense. She's able to create a lot of things with her speed.
17 goals on the regular season, 2 in the game against Callis, but she didn't generate a lot of attack as Houlton tried to send it through again to the speedy forward Marino. Houlton didn't generate a ton of attack. Of course, neither team did a very defensive game, as the score would indicate in the semifinal win over Mountain View. And Hoops really asking to be more of a facilitator in that game. And so far in the early get-go, Steve, she is in this game with 34-30 remaining.
But she can do that. She's versatile. She can be a scorer. She can be a facilitator. She's one of those players that's a dual threat.
She had a beautiful goal in the quarterfinal win up here last year. Of course, there was snow on the ground. You had the call on that game, Steve. It looked like the game was going to be out of hand for Holt with about a minute left. She was able to volley a ball into the goal. Orken looking to attack. Here's Hafford's going to send a shot in. It's going to be just wide of the goal. Worthley's going to let it go out. Holt will have a goal kick.
Yes, tense moments there as Fort Kent, that middle of the field there, a bit open. A simple move to her right foot or strong foot, just couldn't get it on target. Neither keeper has really had any danger so far here in the first 4 minutes.
And how about Hafford? She pulled the trigger from about 25 yards out, showing a little leg strength there, or technique.
That situation, though, especially with a little bit of wet turf, if you keep that low, that's going to skip. And sometimes you can get, the ball traveling a little bit too fast, maybe go through the keeper's hands.
Sure can. Martin with it now. Tried a Cruyff turn instead. It's going to make its way out with it. It's going to be Larissa Daigle.
Nothing wrong with that shot.
No.
Let the keeper get a touch.
Maybe
Keep her honest.
Shift fields as Worthley has the punt. Sends it out to Olivia Henderson. Plays it back. Condon, support pass. Now finds Hoops. Hoops looking to play it up and through. Here's going to be Marino. Again, she's got wheels. Trying to put some pressure on Tebow. She still has the ball, and the flag is going to come up on the opposite side. It will go out. It's going to be a Warriors throw-in. But you can see the speed of Marino and the ability of Hoops to be able to send through balls and switch. Holton's going to look to try to counterattack as Fort Kent's really possessing.
Yeah, especially with those two on the right side. That's a dangerous combination.
When Houlton had Johnson up top with Marino, that was speed that was tough for any backs to really match up with. That's why losing Johnson was so difficult. Now coaches can kind of mix and match who they want to be on the same side as Marino based on their quickness.
And you still got Barton here on this left side in case they want to switch fields. As right now she's got a ton of space where all the action is being dominated on that far side.
And it's right. Houlton is playing a 4-4-2 formation. Fort Kent looks like they're in a 4-3-3. Coming back to win the ball for Houlton was Olivia Henderson. Now to Hoops just beyond midfield. Hoops going to be sent down onto the playing surface. Houlton's going to have a throw-in. Marino plays it back, finds Condon. Condon through pass to Phillips right near midfield.
So if they do get the ball in the middle, you have Ardell here on this left side who's constantly ahead of her defender.
And you talk about versatility, Steve. Yeah. Ardell was the goalkeeper for Houlton for second half of the schedule after Abby Worthley went down with a pretty severe concussion. She's just only back now since the playoffs have begun. Had Houlton had to play a prelim, she would have missed the playoff game. So Ardell can play midfield. She can play forward. And she's the backup goalkeeper as well. As Howe's going to put a shot on, and it's going to just miss as right where the post and the crossbar come together. She's just wide of the mark.
Yeah, so we know Rebecca Howe has quite the boot from 20 to 30 yards out. Anything on net, especially with the wind in her back in the second half.
Here's Houlton with a chance. Hoops with a nice touch. Barton with the left-footed shot. It's going to be wide and off the mark, but now it's the Shire starting to apply a little pressure. Again, about 9 minutes gone here, just underway in this first half. The score remains 0-0. Fort Kent with a throw-in. Martin putting pressure on Emma Ardell. Ardell looks to make a turn, finds Barton. She's got two defenders, plays a through ball back into Ardell, and nicely won away by Hafford. Fort Kent once again looking to apply some pressure. It's Ivy having to come out of the middle, comes out wide, where Nancy Martin, a sophomore midfielder, is going to put some pressure here on Ivy, who's looking to shield. Martin being relentless. And Ivy's going to play the ball out, and I believe that's going to be the second corner. It is here for the Warriors. Nancy Martin raises her hand, indicates to her teammates that she's ready to play the ball, but for her that time, it's going to be wide of the mark. Houlton will have a goal kick coming up. Your officials for this game, over on the far side of the field, we've got Mr. Ryan Jarrett, we've got Steve Thibodeau in the middle of the field, and then Bob Stetz over here on our near side. 2 veteran officials, and Ryan Jarrett's a really good official. He's been officiating now. I think this is either his 3rd or 4th season, but he's already one of the better officials in the county. As the ball trickles out, it's going to be another Houlton goal kick.
10 minutes into really no danger on either side. You had a few shots from distance, but nothing really too stressful for either keeper.
Not where the goalkeepers have been tested, you're right. Ball's up in the air. Ardell looks to settle. Now she tries to round the corner. Fighting for it is Martin. And it's going to settle out of bounds. It will be again a Fort Kent throw-in. With it for the Warriors, that's going to be Larissa Daigle. Looking to play it down her near sideline. It's going to go out of bounds. Houlton with it. Bree Barton looking to switch. One away by the Warriors. Play a ball into the box. Worthley can come out and play it as it was chested down, and she gathers it.
That's what I mean.
As pressure is being applied.
See how that skips on somebody?
That's tough.
You don't expect it, especially on wet artificial turf. The ball speeds up. You think it'd slow down like it does on grass, but on turf it actually speeds up. And if you're that striker on either end, if that ball's booted into your offensive end, you can play the mistake by the defender and potentially get caught on a breakaway.
It was a good read by Worthley to pick up on that skip. As Tebow sends a ball near the left side, looking to try to send a big booming ball in through. Sam Condon was equal to the task. Stepped in, wanted away, played it out of bounds. Fort Kent, though, still has possession. And Ivy now looking to make a clear, allow her team to come back and get some numbers in the boxes. Fort Kent putting all kinds of pressure on. Howe wins the ball, sends it back. Here's Hafford. Plays it back to a teammate. She's got Kaylee Guimon. Shot's going to be put on. Worthley right there. Picks up the save cleanly.
Had to be sharp. Nice play by Worthley.
That's a shot right there, Steve. It's
Yep.
awful easy to give up a rebound on. But she, as you said, she played that cleanly. Here's Barton. Looks to play it through for Houlton. Finds Ardell. And now one away by the Warriors. We'll see if DeLuca's going to try to play the ball or let it go out. She is going to elect to play it. And good pressure put on by the Warriors is going to earn them a throw in here.
See, if you're Houlton here, if you go into the half, there's still 27 minutes left in the half, but if you try to keep Fort Kent off the scoring column with that win behind their back, you have to feel pretty fortunate going into the second half.
Absolutely. Barton looks to make a big switch for the Shires. Misplay by Tebow. Here's Marino. She's got a chance to put some pressure on. Can't get quite that first touch. 3 Warriors back there defending, doing a good job. Prevents the opportunity for the Shires. Through ball. Played in towards the middle. That was Sydney Philbrook. Philbrook. In through. That's Morgan Sear.
Ball! We lost power!
And the ball's going to go out, and that is going to be a through ball for a goal kick.
We lost power.
We have appeared to have lost power, although we're still on.
We're going to keep broadcasting as we, it looks like we've got power, but they've lost some on the scoreboard. So if you don't hear us give you the time, we're going to have to wait till that power comes back on. Hoops with it for the Shires. Looks to switch. Olivia Henderson with a good sprint, trying to put some pressure on. Ball's going to be played out of bounds by the Warriors. Houlton looking to generate an attack. And again, a ball played out through. Again, it's going to be another Houlton throw-in. Marino defended from behind. Now comes back and applies some pressure. Condon with it. Condon through ball. Looking for Barton. Stepped in and won away by the Fort Kent stopper. Now here's going to be a foot race. Ivy working against Philbrook, and Ivy's able to come up with it. The senior center back here for the Shires. She, too, was a first-team All-PVC Conference first-team player. As the ball will go out of bounds. So we're Still broadcasting.
Bit of
here, Steve.
activity, a lot of activity going on behind us, Tim.
Sure is.
Trying to get that scoreboard back up and running.
Well, it's interesting. I can't figure out what's going on. The scoreboard appears to have quit, but again, we have power. So you'll forgive us here if you can hear all kinds of action going on. I will hope that they can get that issue resolved.
And we got back. It says 27:04, but
It may have been at the time in which it stopped. We got the right people on the job here, though, Steve.
yeah, Ralph Mitchell, he's on the call right here. He's on the case.
The best Presque Isle has to offer.
We got a lot of EDs now. So we got Mark White's here. You got Bruce Nason's here. Evan Graves is behind us. They're all trying to help each other out.
Feeling outnumbered, Steve.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be a Fort Kent throw in. You know, Steve, how about the surface up here? This is the first season for this new surface at Presque Isle High School. It was time for probably a new one. And you and I and Ralph were talking before the game as the ball's played out for another throw in. I believe out of the turf facilities I've seen in the state so far this year, this one's probably the nicest for soccer.
It was built first in 2007, and then after about 12 years, they say it has about a 12 to 15-year term, and resurfaced it. And, yeah, as far as the facility is concerned, the concessions, the stands, the field, for media accommodations, everything, it's hard to beat this facility.
The line's nice and clean. You don't have a million different lines. As Rebecca Howe's able to step in and win it away, Fort Kent still with possession. But, and I was telling Ralph, what I believe is, of course, when you have multiple sports, as a shot's going to be put on, Worthley's going to let it go ahead and go out of bounds. When you have multiple sports, you got to kind of compromise a little bit, Steve, as far as the length of the turf and those sorts of things, the width of the field, the amount of lines you put on there and the colors of them. Here in Presque Isle, this was kind of built for soccer.
Yeah, it was. But you even look at multiple sports on turf fields. Of course, last year in the Presque Isle Freeport State Championship game, the ball hit the field goal post.
Yes.
Ended up going into the net.
That's
Freeport
right.
thought they won.
Right.
But the official was right on it, and then they go into keep playing, then Presque Isle ends up winning it. So
that's right.
Sometimes there's obstructions that are you don't expect. You don't expect the ball hit the field goal post and go in the net.
They could play another 1,000 games,
and
that's not going to happen again. Not in a state championship, too.
But, yes, this facility was built for soccer. Of course, you could play football on it. You could play lacrosse on it. You could play field hockey as well. But Presque Isle doesn't have those sports, and it's used just primarily for soccer.
As the ball's played in through the box, Ivy's going to win it away. Fort Kent has had possession here for about the last 5 minutes. The ball's really been on this side of the midfield. And while we're on that topic of conversation, Steve, I will say that I personally, because there's been on 2 different instances or 2 different years and a total of 3 games, when I was coaching, we lost home field advantage because of snow.
Yeah.
And we ended up, the folks here in Presque Isle so accommodating, allowed us to play up here as another ball is played in through, and Worthley again is going to come in and make the save as Guimont put a shot on.
But you say that it's not just utilized by Presque Isle. You have, of course, tomorrow you have Central Aroostook, both teams playing against Penobscot Valley here. I saw before I showed up around 3 o'clock, the Caribou Vikings, Presque Isle's, that's their rival, but Presque Isle lets them use their facility to practice on turf before they go down.
I saw
here
last night as well, so that's 2 nights in a row.
So every school around the county is able to utilize this facility, and Mark White, the athletic director here, and Debbie Ackerson, his assistant. I mean, they do such a great job, and as well as the maintenance crew for Presque Isle, and it's a great facility.
And where I, saying the years we had to come up here to play games where you lost your home field advantage, the atmosphere was second to none.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
You had. Usually, we weren't the only folks that were dealing with that snow, so sometimes you had folks from 4 different communities here, and that's a great way to showcase the game. When you can, I look at the crowd here tonight. Fort Kent draws some really big crowds, so you might have gotten this big of a crowd had the game been in Fort Kent, but maybe a lot of folks from Houlton or from right here in the Presque Isle, Caribou areas. As the ball's going to be played through, there's going to be a chance. Worthley comes out, the ball's loose in the box. Great job by DeLuca coming in to play the ball out as the freshman did not give up on the. Otherwise, that would have been a goal, I think, by Morgan Sear.
That's a great job, as you said, by DeLuca, not giving up on the play as Worthley came out of her net, got a touch on it, but it looks like now it's going to be. Do we have an offside call, I think, before the play? It looks like we do.
Right. We didn't hear that whistle from up here, but you're right, Steve. With just over 20 minutes remaining, so we're about midway through the first half here. The score remains scoreless, I should say. It's tied 0-0.
We are tieless.
We are tieless. That's right. I went without the tire work today. So long ball set up through. Nice head win by Ivy. Ardell looking to switch fields. Finds Marino. Nice settle. She's playing it through to Barton. Barton's going to look to apply some pressure. And one away, playing it safe with Samantha Roy, a senior defensive back over on this right side.
As you mentioned, the crowds. I mean, I was here on Saturday, and when it was Central Aroostook, both teams, they were playing Ashland and Van Buren. The atmosphere was incredible.
And just some casual soccer fans. How about the very first year that the state championships were held up here in Presque Isle? I came up, the Orono teams were playing, and it was cold and it was windy.
Yes,
but
it
my
was.
word, there was a massive crowd. And we were fortunate enough to play in a state championship game in 2017, and I can tell you that the atmosphere was not the same as what it was in some of the regional games, even the semifinal type games that I've been a part of up here, because soccer's a big part of it in the community. There's a lot of fans of the game.
But you said it's also good for, the community and the economy up here in Presque Isle, as those fans and parents from other communities come to this area. They may stay the night. They may go out to eat. They fill up their vehicle, and it helps everybody. And the fact that we have this turf field, it allows us to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's an investment for sure.
Yeah.
Fort Kent generating an attack. Through ball going to be played in. It's going to trickle its way, though, towards Worthley, who picks it up quite harmlessly. There's Gabby Martin looking for the through ball.
Wind's starting to pick up a little bit, Tim, as that rain's starting to fall a little harder. Sort of looks like snow when you're looking at it.
Well, we're hearing that it's coming in the forecast later on this week. We'll put it off as long as possible.
Absolutely.
Ball played along the right side. Sibley plays across through, partially deflected. Pretty try there by Morgan Sear. She wanted to deflect into the side netting, but unable to do so.
Fort Kent getting some better opportunities here, Tim, here late in the first half, as we got about 18-10 still left here in the first half. But Fort Kent starting to find some more seams in that Houlton defense.
Each team sending some substitutes in. Lacey Pelletier coming in for the Warriors. And for the Shires, we're going to see Isabella Ardell check into the game. Houlton with the ball, far side of the field. We're going to lose possession. Howe for Houlton, battling against Kaylee Guimond. Guimond still with possession, is going to put a shot on, and once again, Worthley will let it go.
I mentioned this is just the first of, we got 4 more county teams to play, or actually 3. You got Central Aroostook, both teams tomorrow to play Penobscot Valley on the Class D side, and then Caribou, the boys travel to take on MDI down at Hamden Academy. WHU will have that game also.
Yeah, no, it's an exciting time for sure. As the ball is going to be played through, Martin looking for an opportunity. Howe able to play it out. It will be a Warrior corner kick. This is going to be the third corner of the half with 17 minutes remaining here in the first half. Score is 0-0. Fort Kent with the win. They've also had the majority of the possession, looking to try to get on the board here. Martin. Good ball sent in. Redirected and into the back of the net for the goal for Fort Kent. Pretty looking goal there, Steve. They have the 1-0 lead.
Off a set piece, Pelletier there didn't try to hammer it into the net, just touched it, finessed it into the corner. Placement over power. Fort Kent strikes first.
That was the junior midfielder, Lacey Pelletier, as you indicated. Nice touch. Just redirected it down the corner of the net. 1-0, Fort Kent. 16:58 now remaining here in the first half.
Gabby Martin with a perfect corner kick. That curled right to the 12-yard line, and Pelletier with just the slightest of touches puts it in the bottom corner, and Fort Kent takes the lead.
And looking to apply more pressure. Ivy with it for the Shires. Martin putting all kinds of pressure on. The ball's going to go out. We'll see. It's going to be a Houlton goal kick. Fort Kent thought they had a throw in, or a corner kick rather, but some bad news going to be given to Martin. And now they're going to have everyone straight. So Fort Kent gets on the board first. All kinds of time left in this one. About an hour still left in the game. When they played the first regular season game in Fort Kent, Steve, it was the Warriors building up a 1-0 lead there. Bree Barton was able to equal the score early in the second half until Fort Kent scored 2 midway through the second half, and then the lead was upheld 3-1 to pick up the win. Houlton looking now to try to equal the score, putting some pressure on. It was Olivia Henderson, played it in Sierra Hoops. Now to Marino. Back, Henderson. Marino comes away with it in a crowd. She's got some teammates looking to try to find Barton in the middle. Tebow comes away with it. It's going to play it out wide and safely out of bounds. It'll be a Fort Kent throw-in, or Houlton throw-in, I should say. Tebow again, as the ball traveled into the box, able to clear it out. This time it'll go out right near midfield. And it should be a Houlton throw.
Houlton crowd's letting them know that.
We could see that one from all the way over
We
here
could.
through the raindrops. Hoops. Once again, tries to send a through ball. Keep looking for Marino over on the far side of the field. One away again by Tebow. She's been an eraser back there, preventing opportunities. It's a foot race now. DeLuca battling against Sibley. DeLuca's going to win the race. Fort Kent's going to keep the ball, though, as DeLuca had to play the ball out of bounds. The Warriors will have a throw in.
Fort Kent found some space on this near side as the defense was really pushed over to the far side, and Fort Kent switching fields. They can't get anything going off that throw-in.
Houlton. As that was Isabella Ardell trying to play the ball through to Bree Barton. Barton unable to get the touch before it went out of bounds. You know, Steve, looking at these two coaches, too, I say I coached for 14 years and have to work really hard, to try to climb the mountaintop and get a title. It's difficult. We've got Doug Sear here.
Long time.
And I sent him a text last year after the game. I'm like, you kidding me? In your first season, he gets a state championship.
Didn't take him long at all.
Just a great guy after Robbie Netto had the program for so many years and did just a great job with them. Robbie coached the team to a regional championship as well. Kevin St. Jar before that. And, over here for Houlton, Coach Marina Cameron, she's named the PVC Class C Coach of the Year. She has the team coming into this game with a record of 14-2. So these two, instant success, it seems like.
Right.
They got the Midas touch.
Oh, they're terrific programs. I mean, really, both Fort Kent and Houlton, awesome programs, and they've had sustained success.
They've got also similar personalities. Obviously, one's a younger female. The other one, he's got a daughter playing on the field. And yet, they're both kind of quiet people. They're not afraid to question some things. If there's something in the game they think Houlton's going to have an opportunity, as a flag is going to be raised on the far side of the field. Otherwise, it was Marino coming in on net. Great touch and through ball by Emma Ardell.
Yeah, a bit too far ahead of the back line of the defense. Mr. Drett all over that call.
Doesn't even end up as a shot opportunity, but as Houlton's best opportunity of the game has had Marino been on side.
It was the right idea.
Yeah.
Right idea. Just if Marino can time that run a little bit better.
And I do think Houlton's going to try to use that counterattack, particularly against the wind, as a skip ball is sent into the box. But realizing that Fort Kent is keeping possession here, Houlton's counterattack can be a little bit dangerous.
Especially with Marino, with how quick she is up front, using that through ball. Ardell tried to find her, but in the second half, I'm really interested to see what Houlton can do in the second half.
Just over 12 minutes remain here in this first half as the ball's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be a Houlton throw-in. Steve, and I'm of the same mindset, and I still am, but I will tell you, you talk about a bizarre game. Again, last year up here in the quarterfinals, Houlton, Orono, all 7 goals were scored against the wind.
I remember that. I was doing that game, yes.
We actually had the wind in the first half, and we went in at halftime, and I said, you got to be kidding me. We scored 0 goals, and the wind was blowing probably 20 mile an hour consistently, 25 to 30 mile an hour gusts. And I said, we didn't score with the wind. We're in trouble. And then the second half, whatever. It was kind of crazy.
But what's the percentage of that actually happening?
Yeah,
How often does that happen against the wind?
And, and I don't know if it was a matter of it just forced us to play soccer, or is it we were kind of chasing the ball a lot with the wind as that corner kick is taken by Martin.
Sometimes it forces you to play that possession soccer game.
Yeah.
And you can move the ball backwards and you go forwards a little easier instead of the boot and run style play that you do see a lot.
So you're right. The rain is started out about 75% chance of rain. Of course, it's been raining right straight through, but it's supposed to gain momentum as well and be raining even harder. It's about 100% chance, according to the radar, now to continue throughout the rest of this game, but the wind is starting to pick up a little bit as well. Throw in taken in the attacking end here for the Warriors. Ball's once again played out by Natalie DeLuca. Back into the game here for the Warriors. It's going to be Sydney Philbrook. She's a quick junior forward. And coming out, that's going to be Nancy Martin. Porcan in possession. Flag's going to come up as there's going to be a trip. Ardell came up with a lot of the foot of Riley Sibley. This is going to give a chance for the Warriors to have probably their best set piece so far. And as Martin's going to tie the cleat, gives Houlton a chance to set up the wall.
You have to watch Pelletier again. She was the goal scorer off a set piece.
See if she can sneak through again. And if Martin can deliver another good ball. She plays one through, one away by Howe. It's right out to Martin. And Howe able to come in and win it away. Orkendo stays in possession until Hoops comes in and takes the ball away. Houlton again looking to counterattack. Can't get that through ball off, though, as Marino is trying to find Olivia Henderson. Houlton, though, will keep possession. Under 10 minutes remain here in the first half. If you're just joining us, it's Fort Kent 1, Houlton 0. The defending state champions trying to earn their way back as they would play in Falmouth on Saturday. Houlton trying to get back to the state championship for the first time in 2 years. Martin, nice Cruyff turn. Has the ball, puts a left-footed shot on Worthley with the save. The ball still loose. And Worthley able to come away with it. Nice rip left foot by Martin, and great save by Worthley.
The move from Martin to get away from her defender, but Worthley equal to the task with the save. Good opportunity for Martin. Worthley, though, keeps it 1-0.
And Worthley's smart there. Again, first year between the posts here for the Shires. The ball's going to be wet. She knew she probably was going to have a difficult time with, as well as that was struck, just coming up with it cleanly. So she decides to play the ball up and give herself a chance at a second save. She kind of went with the open-fisted punch. So the ball's going to be played out by the Shires. Coach Sear yelling some instructions at his team. Again, ball sent through. Martin trying to play a ball in. That was Kate Lamar right there, but Worthley once again comes in and picks up the ball for the save. Hoops. Plays a through ball, trying to find the speed of Marino. She's working against Tebow, and Tebow looking to try to send the ball out. She was just going to play it for a clearance. Marino defended, and it's going to be Fort Kent's goal kick. Marino trying to do the right thing. Perhaps some bad luck there. So Houlton may have ended up with a throw-in and good opportunity space.
There's space here for Hoops.
She's a dangerous player. Finds Ardell. Tries to play a touch pass through to her younger sister, Isabella. Now makes the turn. And Ardell still in pursuit. Gets into the box. One away. And Barton right there with it for the Shires. Barton putting all kinds of pressure on. Barton's going to come away with the soccer ball. She makes a fancy turn.
Nice.
She's going to look to play across in. Right in through the box. Good opportunity. Both Henderson and Marino there. Neither one able to get a touch out of the ball. One away by Fort Kent.
That was quite a nifty play by Barton in the corner. Got it all the way across the goal mouth. Nobody could get a cleat on it.
She watched Martin's Cruyff turn on one end and tried one of her own on the opposite side. Martin with the right. It was Barton with the left. Henderson with it for the Shires. As a flag comes up, Houlton's going to have an opportunity. They allowed for the play on, and once Houlton lost the advantage, good officiating.
I believe this is their first set-piece opportunity here in this offensive end.
You are right. With now exactly 7 minutes remaining here, Houlton's going to bundle up over on the far side. See if they can get somebody free. Nice ball sent in through by Howe, but just a little hard. I think she knew she was fighting the wind and put a little extra on it. Sailed out over the top of the goalpost.
I think you are right as usual, Mr. Tweedy.
Coming into the game for Fort Kent's going to be Morgan Sear.
I know you don't hear that you're right at home, so I'll tell you here.
I appreciate that. I'm sure
or at school.
The three little ones are probably listening. Hey, once again, you're correct. As Ivy plays the ball out. DeLuca. She's played well so far here for the Shires. Ball's played through by Shaylee Jeanreau, and Ball's going to go out. It'll be a whole goal kick coming up. Steve, I know you and I, we're enjoying this, and hopefully another few days of watching some of the county teams play soccer, but it won't be long before we turn things over into the gym and bring the equipment inside and get ready to start broadcasting a lot of basketball games.
Yeah, we got some space here for the Shires.
Isabel Ardell lost it. Emma Ardell right there. Emma looked to play a through ball. Houlton coach Cameron looking for a trip from behind against Ardell. Either way, Fort Kent's going to have it. Martin played a through ball. It's going to see, and the flag is up, and it wasn't offside. So before the through ball was played, offside on the far side of the field, I believe that was Sear.
Yeah, just barely. You could tell she was trying to line herself up with the back end of the defense, but just a bit too far out in front of him.
Howe getting the news now that there's going to be an offside call.
Yeah, it will be a lot warmer inside a gym when it comes to basketball season.
Sure will.
December 7th. First game for me, at least.
I think I'm the 6th.
Yep.
You must be on a Saturday. I think we're a Friday.
Presque Isle Old Town doubleheader.
As DeLuca wins it away, tried to find Ardell.
Then I'll have to deal with another 3 months of being called Stevie every 30 seconds.
Yeah, old Bobby Russell. We can't get him up here to do any soccer games.
He won't do soccer. I've asked him. He said, Steve, I don't know anything about soccer. He said, well,
I would argue he doesn't know anything about anything.
I would say he doesn't know anything about basketball.
And John Humphrey on camera saying the same thing, so it seems to be the consensus. I think it's unanimous. Lacey Pelletier, the goal scorer in this one. She's got the lone goal, played a square ball in through, trying to find Sear. Houlton trying to prevent away, is going to play the ball out of bounds. 4 minutes now remain here in the first half. Fort Kent enjoys a 1-0 lead. They've got the soccer ball deep in their attacking end. The throw-in comes to Lacey Pelletier, and looked like Worthley had a crack at it. Just a miscommunication. Ivy ends up playing the ball, and now Fort Kent is going to have a corner kick out of it. Steve, that's a mistake you don't want to see if you are Shire's coach, Marina Cameron.
Bit of a miss hit. You don't want to give up a set piece to Fort Kent, especially where they've already scored on one. But it'll be Martin once again to take it in the corner, and Pelletier, number 3, she was the goal scorer with the orange cleats. She's right back in there.
See if they can make the connection again. Pelletier does crashing on the goal. This time it's going to be more of a high arcing corner ball played. And a couple players battling for it. It's going to be Isabella Ardell coming away with it for Houlton, but she's going to play the ball out of bounds. Fort Kent with yet another throw in. You see players from both sides trying to dry the ball out on these throw-ins as it is wet out there. Looking to try to make the turn. It's Sear. Left-footed shot blocked nicely by Ivy. Hafford with it. Hafford shields. She's going to try to get a shot off. Again, it's going to be Ivy. Now Ivy with possession, trying to build up out of the back. Finds Barton. Barton with it for the Shires. Loses possession. Tebow right there. Fort Kent has it again. Martin's going to have an opportunity. She's got a shot, and right to Worthley. Worthley doing a nice job taking away that near side. Martin with a good turn on it.
That and rebound control.
Yeah.
Get down on her knees real quick, but able to just nudge it, keep possession, not allow any sort of rebound opportunity for Fort Kent. Worthley having a great first half.
Trying to keep the game close as it's 1-0. 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Fort Kent enjoying the lead. Hoops trying to play a ball through. Nicely shielded. Give her team possession. Just kind of let that one settle out. Was Fort Kent. Looks like Hafford's going to take the throw in on the far side. The long throw using the wind was Hafford. Sam Condon's going to come over and play it for Houlton. And she doesn't turn it up the field. She's going to play it out deep in the Fort Kent attacking end. Houlton's going to do what they can to try to kill a minute, 30 seconds, get into the locker rooms, warm up, regroup, and see what they can do when they have the wind at their backs in the second half as Hafford comes away with the ball. Finds Pelletier. Nice turn. Plays it in through. Trying to find her teammate, Riley Sibley. Instead, once again, it's DeLuca. DeLuca controls it. Finds Isabella Ardell. Out of Barton. Barton unable to get her touch on the turn. Tebow out near midfield. Houlton's going to have a throw in. Minute remains. See if the Shires can generate an attack. Hoops. Through ball. Looks for Ardell. One away, though, by Tebow of the Warriors. Once again, it gets up into the jet stream. A high arcing clearance ball. Ivy. In through. Here's going to be a chance potentially as Marino is going to try to put some pressure on. Nice job defending. As I have to wait for some help on the number from here, Steve.
Yeah, Shaylee Jondro there on the right fullback.
Appreciate that. 20 seconds now remaining here in the first half. I think it's time for a visit to my optometrist, Steve. Good thing my mother-in-law works for one. Barton for Houlton. He's going to look to try to put on a shot. Sends the ball in through. And right there, it's off the post with 2 seconds. And that's the way the first half's going to end. You got to be kidding me.
But that's what I talked about in the first half. You play the mistake with those balls coming in. The skip that the turf takes, it speeds up and it comes in at a low trajectory. Went right over the defender's foot to Marino, just a bit off target, off the post, and unlucky for the Shires. But that's the mistake I was talking about.
She almost made it 3 playoff games in a row, picking up a goal. For now, Houlton's going to be kept off the board. That was easily their best opportunity of the half. Coming in the last 5 seconds of the half, unable, though, to put the ball in the back of the net. Here at halftime from the Johnson Athletic Complex, it's the Fort Kent Lady Warriors with a 1-0 lead over the number 3 seeded Houlton Shires. Steve and I are going to take a break. We'll be back in about 7 minutes or so as we regroup, the teams regroup, and we'll bring you second half action. Don't go too far. Back here shortly on WHOU.
The station that loves classic hits as much as you do.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack.
Ooh, baby, I love your way.
Maybe more, because we can't stop. Here's more classic hits in a row.
The best hits. WHOU.
The best hits. 100.1 WHOU.
The time to swap, drop, and roll at the County Federal Credit Union has been extended through November 8th. Call, click, or come to the County Federal Credit Union. Swap your current car loan with another lender. We'll drop your rate by at least 1%. Plus, you could walk out with a $150 roll of cash. And if we can't drop your rate, we'll pay you $15. Swap, drop, and roll extended for another week through November 8th at the County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender, countyfcu.org.
Hi from Jeans, where you'll find better TV and more ways to enjoy it. Get 190 channels for $59.99 a month with Dish. Plus, get a free voice remote on us. And remember, we're also trained Nest Pros and deliver white glove service for all kinds of smart home solutions, like the Google Nest Learning Thermostat or the Google Nest Cam Outdoor, which lets you look after your home from anywhere so you can travel worry-free. So come and visit our newest location on Stillwater in Bangor, or visit us online to find a local store near you.
Excellence at ground level is what you get with J. McLaughlin Construction in Houlton. Founded in 2012, the company plans the construction of streets, residential areas, and commercial buildings, and they are involved in both public and private projects. Their high-quality work and many years of experience have earned them an excellent reputation and a loyal client base. Regardless of whether you need a detailed plan for a building or would like to build a road, J. McLaughlin Construction is your reliable partner for all your engineering needs. Call J. McLaughlin Construction at 532-6335 or 694-2546.
Sorry, Dad.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. Because as long as Mr. It wasn't my fault takes the wheel on occasion, maintaining this car is your best option. So keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Dad, where are you going?
The station that loves classic hits as much as you do.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack.
Ooh, baby, I love your way.
Maybe more, because we can't stop. Here's more classic hits in a row.
The best hits. WHOU.
The best hits. 100.1 WHOU.
The time to swap, drop, and roll at the County Federal Credit Union has been extended through November 8th. Call, click, or come to the County Federal Credit Union. Swap your current car loan with another lender. We'll drop your rate by at least 1%. Plus, you could walk out with a $150 roll of cash. And if we can't drop your rate, we'll pay you $15. Swap, drop, and roll extended for another week through November 8th at the County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender, countyfcu.org.
Hi from Jeans, where you'll find better TV and more ways to enjoy it. Get 190 channels for $59.99 a month with Dish. Plus, get a free voice remote on us. And remember, we're also trained Nest Pros and deliver white glove service for all kinds of smart home solutions, like the Google Nest Learning Thermostat or the Google Nest Cam Outdoor, which lets you look after your home from anywhere so you can travel worry-free. So come and visit our newest location on Stillwater in Bangor, or visit us online to find a local store near you.
Excellence at ground level is what you get with J. McLaughlin Construction in Houlton. Founded in 2012, the company plans the construction of streets, residential areas, and commercial buildings, and they are involved in both public and private projects. Their high-quality work and many years of experience have earned them an excellent reputation and a loyal client base. Regardless of whether you need a detailed plan for a building or would like to build a road, J. McLaughlin Construction is your reliable partner for all your engineering needs. Call J. McLaughlin Construction at 532-6335 or 694-2546.
Sorry, Dad.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. Because as long as Mr. It wasn't my fault takes the wheel on occasion, maintaining this car is your best option. So keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Dad, where are you going?
The station that loves classic hits as much as you do.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack.
Ooh, baby, I love your way.
Maybe more, because we can't stop. Here's more classic hits in a row.
The best hits. WHOU.
The best hits. 100.1 WHOU.
The time to swap, drop, and roll at the County Federal Credit Union has been extended through November 8th. Call, click, or come to the County Federal Credit Union. Swap your current car loan with another lender. We'll drop your rate by at least 1%. Plus, you could walk out with a $150 roll of cash. And if we can't drop your rate, we'll pay you $15. Swap, drop, and roll extended for another week through November 8th at the County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender, countyfcu.org.
Hi from Jeans, where you'll find better TV and more ways to enjoy it. Get 190 channels for $59.99 a month with Dish. Plus, get a free voice remote on us. And remember, we're also trained Nest Pros and deliver white glove service for all kinds of smart home solutions, like the Google Nest Learning Thermostat or the Google Nest Cam Outdoor, which lets you look after your home from anywhere so you can travel worry-free. So come and visit our newest location on Stillwater in Bangor, or visit us online to find a local store near you.
Excellence at ground level is what you get with J. McLaughlin Construction in Houlton. Founded in 2012, the company plans the construction of streets, residential areas, and commercial buildings, and they are involved in both public and private projects. Their high-quality work and many years of experience have earned them an excellent reputation and a loyal client base. Regardless of whether you need a detailed plan for a building or would like to build a road, J. McLaughlin Construction is your reliable partner for all your engineering needs. Call J. McLaughlin Construction at 532-6335 or 694-2546.
Sorry, Dad.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. Because as long as Mr. It wasn't my fault takes the wheel on occasion, maintaining this car is your best option. So keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Dad, where are you going?
The station that loves classic hits as much as you do.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack.
Ooh, baby, I love your way.
Maybe more, because we can't stop. Here's more classic hits in a row.
The best hits. WHOU.
The best hits. 100.1 WHOU.
The time to swap, drop, and roll at the County Federal Credit Union has been extended through November 8th. Call, click, or come to the County Federal Credit Union. Swap your current car loan with another lender. We'll drop your rate by at least 1%. Plus, you could walk out with a $150 roll of cash. And if we can't drop your rate, we'll pay you $15. Swap, drop, and roll extended for another week through November 8th at the County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender, countyfcu.org.
Hi from Jeans, where you'll find better TV and more ways to enjoy it. Get 190 channels for $59.99 a month with Dish. Plus, get a free voice remote on us. And remember, we're also trained Nest Pros and deliver white glove service for all kinds of smart home solutions, like the Google Nest Learning Thermostat or the Google Nest Cam Outdoor, which lets you look after your home from anywhere so you can travel worry-free. So come and visit our newest location on Stillwater in Bangor, or visit us online to find a local store near you.
Excellence at ground level is what you get with J. McLaughlin Construction in Houlton.
From Presque Isle Middle School here at the Johnson Athletic Complex on WHOU halftime, getting ready to kick off for the second half. Fort Kent girls with a 1-0 lead over Houlton, number 1 leading number 3. Tim Tweedy, Steve Carmichael, John Humphrey, and Marco Almonte helping bring you this game. Steve, pretty good first half.
Yeah, great first half. Switching sides. The wind will now be at the Shiretowners' back. We'll see what Fort Kent does with that 1-goal lead. Are they a little more defensive-oriented? Especially with Hoops and Marino up front on the defensive side. It's going to be a lot of action here on the right side with those two players. I think that's what Houlton's going to try to do, but Fort Kent stingy in the first half defensively. Houlton didn't have a ton of opportunities other than right at the end there. See what they can do in the second half.
Both teams able to go in and warm up a little bit as it is frigid. The rain coming down hard. Houlton had the kickoff. It's going to be Sear with it for the Warriors. Try to play a through ball. In one away by Condon. Now to Henderson. Houlton looking to generate more of an attack as right in the seconds to end the first half. They were denied an opportunity by the post. As goalkeeper comes out, M. Ardell trying to get the shot off. Nicely saved there for Fort Kent as Lindsay Willette picking up the save. Hadn't said Willette's name too many times, Steve. She didn't really have to touch the ball too much.
It's the first opportunity she's really had to make some sort of a save on an opportunity for the Shires other than at the end of the first half, but she might be busy here.
With it for the Shires, putting a shot on. Rebecca Howe deflected before it made it to the goalkeeper. Emma Ardell plays it out. Hoops. It's a support pass. Hoops looking to play it in through. Looking for Barton. Barton was going to try to turn the ball right near the touchline, and it's going to be played out for a throw-in for the Shires. Very deep now in their attacking end. Left back Natalie DeLuca coming all the way up for the throw-in. Plays it to Barton. Barton sends a left-footed cross in, a low liner. One away, though. Houlton still with it. Barton again puts a shot up, and nice save there by Willette. Barton trying to go near side. Willette with the save.
Again, rebound control. Worthley did it in the first half. Willette there to start the second half. Caught it cleanly. No opportunity for Houlton on the rebound.
Howe comes together with Sear. They're going to say she pushed off to gain the advantage. Fort Kent will have the ball. Hafford's going to set it for Tebow. Amanda gets ready for the set piece. Houlton with a two-man wall. Tebow plays it through to the goal scorer. Again, that's Lacey Pelletier. She's got the lone goal in this one. If you're just joining us here for the second half, Barton looked to play a through ball. Again, they're trying to find the speed of Marino up top. Marino putting some pressure on the back of Samantha Roy. Houlton with possession. Here's Marino. She's got a turn. Plays it back to Barton to see if Barton can get the shot off. Tebow comes in and takes it away. Otherwise, Barton would have had a clean chance. Again, here's Hoops now with it. Houlton keeping possession. Left-footed shot by Hoops. And great save by Willette on the low shot. That was not an easy save.
No.
The goalkeeper Willette able to keep Houlton off the board. Houlton in the first 3 minutes here of the second half generating a lot of attack, Steve.
A lot more than they did in the first half. And, well, keep saying it, but you attribute it to the wind factor. Is now Fort Kent going into the wind, they'll have to play more of a possession-style game, although they do normally, but it's going to be even more important here in the second half.
Sear with it for the Warriors. Through to Condon. Condon tried to clear the ball. Hafford was right there. Howe with the win for the Shires. Little cut for Olivia Pelletier as she finds Marino. Marino unable to get the touch on the ball, but it settles nicely for her. Tebow's got to come play it away in toward her bench.
Tebow's real quick back there, trying to match the speed of Marino.
What she does so well is get sideline to sideline.
Yeah.
A lot of those players, if you're more of a center back or a sweeper, depending upon the preference in your formation,
Yep.
a lot of those players want to stay in the middle of the field. But Tebow and Ivy both do a nice job for these two teams getting sideline to sideline. Yeah, stepped in, went away. Hafford has it. Again, it's Sear. Nice ball played up along the sideline, but it's going to play out as we saw Sydney Philbrook looking to try to catch up with the ball. Henderson played it back. Oops. Now Phillips. Phillips to Marino. Marino across the field. Houlton's looking to switch things up. Barton and Ardell were both there, and instead, coming away with it, it's got to be Riley Sibley with a nice shield. Poor Kent had possession. Turn it over as Hoops battling in the middle of the field against Kaylee Guimond. Hoops with it. Those two are still battling. A couple good players going at it right near the middle of the field.
Get a little more physical here.
Well, both teams want it. They know there's, for one of these two teams, could be just 40 minutes left in their season. Of course, there could be overtime. Never know. Houlton with the big switch. It's Henderson looking to cut the ball. Henderson. And it's going to be played out as Hafford was right there putting all kinds of pressure on. Henderson. Big kick in the box. Hoops gets her head on it. And Willette comes out to make the save. Good read by Samantha Roy.
Yep.
She thought about playing the ball. Must have heard her goalkeeper call her off. Otherwise, you might have seen Emma Ardell on the other side of the ball. She was just waiting for the ball to kind of settle down to her foot. Sport Kent looks to come the other way. Martin touched it for the first time here in this half. As Tebow plays a big booming kick. Clear up the field. Sport Kent again trying to generate an attack. And the ball's played up. It's hung up by the wind. Martin battling against Ivy. Martin with one cut, two cuts. She knows what to do with it. Puts it in the back of the net. As the ball kind of hit a wall, It held up. It looked like it was going to be worthless for the save. Instead, it hangs up. Ivy wasn't expecting it. Came down, hit her in the back. Martin right there. Two cuts and a goal.
Talk about going to the wind, but going into the wind, that ball, as you said, got held up. Ivy misplayed it. Martin with the physicality to be able to bump her off the ball and the cutback to get it just enough space to put it in the bottom corner. Gabby Martin, a tremendous player up front for the Warriors.
Yeah, and how about the patience on the finish? She could have just one-touched it and said she got two extra touches, and with 34-15 remaining here in the second half, Fort Kent's built up a 2-0 lead. Now we'll look to see what adjustments each of the coaches make, as Holt maybe going to go with maybe a more offensive formation. We'll have to see at what point they decide to do that. And, of course, if you're Coach Doug Sear of Fort Kent, you can do a few things, too, to try to maybe help the seconds tick off the clock a little bit quicker and limit possession for the Shires.
A little bit of insurance now for the Warriors.
Ball is played up by Amelia Ivy. I'm not sure who it was announcing the other day for WFK TV, but they did quote Coach Robbie Netto, a good friend, maybe even listening to the broadcast. Not sure. I know he's got his elementary principal duties to get to in the morning, so he may, in fact, be tuning in here. But he said Robbie always told him the most important goal in the game was the third goal.
Yep.
Here's Emma Ardell. Plays a through ball. Hoops. Ball's going to be played out. That's the last touch by Kaylee Guimond. Houlton with the throw in just beyond midfield. DeLuca to Barton. Barton looks to shield. DeLuca played the ball. Now to Pelletier. Leah. Now over to Sear. Near side Morgan looking to make a switch. Small touch by Howe. Unable to come away with it. Good look on the through pass by Martin. Does not make its way through a crowd of Shires players wearing white. And as Olivia Henderson came away with the ball, her last touch was just a bit too long. It's going to go out of bounds. Pelletier battling against Howe. Sends a curveball in through the box. Emma Ardell able to chest it down. Tries for a clearance. Cannot do so. Morgan Sear with it. Morgan, left-footed cross off. One away as Howe looks to clear. And the ball's going to stay in now. It'll trickle out beyond midfield. Hafford battling against Condon. Now to Pelletier for Fort Kent. Houlton being a little impatient there, as a couple of the midfielders perhaps could have had more touches. Try to suck that defense in a little bit. As after that Fort Kent goal, they've possessed here for the last 4 minutes. 31 minutes remaining here in the second half. Henderson with the header, but out of bounds. It's going to be Hafford with the throw. And I see the official's going to indicate there's going to be a Fort Kent throw in. Again, good crew. Steve Thibodeau in the middle of the field. Pretty good chance he may get a state game, as he's got one each of the past couple years. Nice ball played in through by Martin. One away, though, by Emma Ardell. Emma tried to play a wide ball out to Bree Barton. Was not there. Ardell with good hustle. And the ball is, though, going to last touch Ardell. Warriors have it. They don't come a lot quicker than Emma Ardell.
No.
She and her two twin sisters, who are both sophomore members of this whole team, they'll be joined by another sister next year, so there'll be 4 of them on the team, soccer team at one time. But the 3 older Ardell girls, Elena, Isabella, and Emma, make up 3/4 of one of the faster relay teams in the state, Steve, at least in Class C. They're quick.
We'll get confusing for you next year if you're broadcasting the games.
Just got to say Ardell.
Yeah, that's right. You're probably pretty close to being right since they'll all be on the field.
Opportunity put in by Leah Pelletier. The ball's going to curve. Again, I think the win maybe kept that one in. It's going to give Fort Kent another opportunity.
It's like if you're broadcasting Jonesport Beals games. Chances are there's a Beal on the floor.
It's hard to screw those up,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Chances.
Ball's going to go out of bounds, and Houlton's going to have a goal kick coming up. Yeah, schools like that, they make our job easy.
Yeah, very easy.
Rebecca Howe with the goal kick. Kind of a low screecher. Pelletier able to win it away. Ardell's just going to let it settle out of bounds. Houlton with the throw. Looking to speed things up. Ardell tried to find Barton. That throw was off the mark. Fort Kent with it now. As Hoops takes it away in midfield. She's got space in which to maneuver. It's a 4-on-4. Barton, nice touch pass through. It's going to be Marino. She might have a shot at it. Puts the shot on, and it's in the goals. Lindsay Willette got a touch on it, and somehow the ball snuck in underneath, Steve. Hard to see how it happened. Either way, it's 2-1 Houlton. They get on the board with 29-17 remaining here in the contest. It's 2-1.
Kept it low. Hoops to Barton to Marino. Finally got her with some space to be able to utilize her speed. Went near post underneath the arm of Willette. They cut the lead in half. As you said, Fort Kent may need that third goal.
Yeah.
As you quoted Mr. Netto.
We'll see what happens here with 29 minutes remaining.
Hoops had too much space there. She had a lot of space to survey the field. Found Barton.
Barton with a nice square pass.
And a beautiful one-touch pass to Marino. The freshman with her speed. Gets away from the defense and cuts the lead in half.
Eddie Marino, just a freshman. She has now scored in all 3 playoff games here. The lone goal against Mount View. Now the lone goal so far here against Fort Kent. This one's 2-1. See if it gives the Shires some new life.
Not bad for a freshman.
Not bad. I would have taken it.
Yeah, absolutely.
As Marino's battling for the ball, and the official's going to raise the flag. And I believe that's going to be a dangerous play against Marino. She was unable to get herself up, put herself in a dangerous position. Tebow plays a set piece. Looking to switch fields was Nancy Martin. Emma Ardell right there, able to take the ball away. Barton's going to come and put some pressure on. Fort Kent, they're right back. Samantha Roy just has to play it out of bounds as she had Barton breathing down her neck. Natalie DeLuca takes the throw. Stepped in nicely and one away for Ken, as once again that was Kaylee Guimon with the win, and eventually the ball is going to find its way into the hands of goalkeeper Lindsay Willette. Her punt out near midfield. Hoops misplays it. Roy looking to try to play it through. It's Sierra Hoops coming away with it, and on a mistouch, the ball will go all the way into Willette, so they'll start all over again. Willette, close to the top of the 18, plays the ball out through. Nice square pass from Hafford. She finds Martin, playing the ball through, trying to find Pelletier. Here she is. Pelletier in over along the right side. And finally, it's Ivy having to come up for the clearance for Holt. Roy decides to put her right back in. Gets the ball away. Ardell for the Shires. Looking for Barton. Instead, Tebow right there. She's everywhere. Ball kind of hanging out here right at the midfield, Steve, for the past 30 seconds or so. Here's Hafford. She takes the throw in. Sam Condon able to come away with the win. Here's Barton. She's got time to turn. Looking to try to play a through ball again to Marino. And it's going to be Olivia Henderson picking up the ball. She takes a throw in here for the Shires. Marino fakes like she was going to play it back to her teammate. Instead tries to turn, but just not enough real estate. She's going to put the ball out over the sideline for Kent with a throw in. Ball played out along the left side. Unable to come up with it is number 13, Nancy Martin. So Houlton in front of their bench will have a throw in, but not before Sam Condon takes a moment to tie her shoe. 26 minutes now remain here in this contest. It's 2-1 for Kent. The Warriors had a 1-0 lead at halftime. They picked up an early goal here in the second half. Houlton able to get on the board finally here just moments ago. Still lots of soccer remaining in this contest. Morgan Sear works it over to Guimon. Plays the ball all the way across the field looking for the switch. For Fort Kent, it's Sibley. One away, though, nicely by Emma Ardell. Finds Bree Barton for the Shires. They look on the far side of the field as Bree couldn't get that pass off. She had Olivia Henderson with all kinds of real estate. Tebow coming all the way in out of the back to play this ball. Now up in near the midfield.
Fort Kent's got numbers.
They do. They've got a 3-on-2. As Pelletier plays a nice ball in through. It's going to be Sear with a left-footed shot on the near post side, and it's going to hit side panel. It's going to be a Houlton goal kick. Good opportunity, though, there for Fort Kent.
Very good opportunity. Had numbers. Pelletier found Sear.
Great patience, too, in the attacking third.
Tebow had a lot of space, kind of similar to Hoops when she scored her goal. But when you give players that talented, that much space, they're definitely going to give yourself a goal-scoring opportunity.
Amanda Tebow is one of those players, probably similar to Amelia Ivy. You know, they play in the back, and they're kind of field generals for the team. But, you know, if their coaches didn't need to put them back there, you know, there's types of kids that can score double-digit goals for sure. They're just that talented. As Barton tried to play the one-touch through ball. Instead, going to lose possession. And it's going to be a Fort Kent throw-in. Ardell looking for Marino. Played out nicely, one away for Fort Kent.
Plenty of real
Nancy
estate.
Martin. All kinds of time, as you indicated. Demon. Fort Kent happy to eat some time off the clock with this lead. They're going to be patient and try to build up an attack. Instead, though, the ball's going to be turned over as the Shires have it near midfield. The throw in. Unable to turn and get her hips around on it as Maddie Marino results in a Fort Kent throw in. Hafford. Condon steps in, wins a 50-50 ball. Leah Pelletier finds her teammate. In the middle of the field, that was Gabby Martin. For Kent now starting to string some passes together, Steve. And just as I say that, Howe's able to step in and intercept one. It's still going to be Fort Kent possession, but they're putting 3-4 passes together now. For the Shires on the far side of the field, DeLuca. As Hoops looks to make a switch, nicely defended by Pelletier. Trying to keep Hoops from making the big switch. Houlton will have possession again, right at midfield. Barton uses her body. Keeps the ball. Morgan Sear finds a teammate, finds Nancy. Nancy Martin. Taken away by Elizabeth Phillips. Bree Barton in a foot race against Roy. Far side of the field. One away by Roy. Phillips loses possession for the Shires. Now to Morgan Sear. Looks to turn the corner. Does so against Condon, but not before. She brings the ball out over the sideline. Hope will have a throw in.
Just couldn't keep it in play there.
Condon takes her time on the throw.
You have to wonder, Tim, how tired some of these players are. You haven't seen many substitutions, especially here in the second half, and both teams have expended quite a bit of energy.
They have for sure. There's a nice ball played in through. Martin might have a chance if she can catch up to it. Worthley comes out, makes the initial save, has some help from Condon. Condon plays the ball out wide. Henderson unable to come up with it. But the Shires live to fight another possession.
It's cold, windy, rainy out there.
Yeah. Sydney Philbrook comes into the game.
I'm getting tired.
We're just standing up here.
Yeah.
There's a heater behind us, but it's not throwing out enough heat as we stand in the open window. Those of you who are home able to watch the game are the fortunate ones, as Pelletier sends a left-footed shot in, and Worthley decided to let it go as it looked like it was going to go out of bounds. Instead, she ends up going and making a play on it as Gabby Martin was putting good pressure on. That's another ball there that a number of players on the field just misread. They thought it was going to go out for a goal kick, and instead 2 or 3 players ended up with a crack at it.
Right.
The win kind of wreaking havoc. Good cut there by Philbrook.
Great
Loses
help by
possession.
Howe.
Hoops for the Shires. Good tackle by Kaylee Guimond. And Martin's going to lose possession to Ivy, who will play the ball out. Fort Kent will have a throw-in. "20 minutes now remain here in the second half. We're 3/4 of the way through regulation. It's a 1-goal game. Fort Kent, with the throw-in, they lead 2-1 over the Houlton Shires. Fort Kent would love to be able to get back to the state championship, as they currently have the hardware in their trophy case. Houlton trying to get back as they were there in 2017. So 2 teams with a lot of success in Class C going at it here in this one. Amelia Ivy. A couple different moves as good pursuit, and Ivy might have been lucky to get away with one. The official, you can see, he was looking around a player. Houlton might have gotten away with one, as that could have easily been a penalty kick. Ivy with some contact. But you could see, my eyes went to the official, and he was screened by a player.
Yep.
He was trying to peer around. So that play goes for naught. Some of the fans in green not happy as Sear, she's going to have an opportunity again. It's Ivy closing down, and the ball's going to stay in play. How about Ivy making the play and then keeping possession for her team?
Yeah, everybody's eyes went to the official, I believe, as Ivy with plenty of contact there in the box, but they let him play on. Stays 2-1 game.
Here's Martin. That could be a defining play of the game, Steve. Depends on what happens here over the last 18, 19 minutes. Fort Kent will have a throw-in very deep in their attacking third. Morgan Sear, coach's daughter, is going to take the throw-in. Phillips just clears it out for the Shires. The rain coming down now as hard as it has all evening long. As that's going to be trouble is just over the goal. That was Leah Pelletier looking to get her second goal of the game. And really, I mean, the wind is actually, despite how hard it's raining, the wind with not a big gust. Otherwise, that really would have been trouble. She struck it well.
The wind's kind of died down a little bit here as we move on here in the second half, but still very much a factor on both sides.
Houlton's goal kick finds Bree Barton. Now to Ardell. Again, back on the field after spending the last couple of weeks in the net. Finds Marino. Here's Henderson with a tough touch. Over along the far side. The official's flag's going to go up. A couple players came together. It's going to be Henderson. Whistled as Fort Kent will have it. Bang, bang, 50-50 play. Could have gone either way. Coach Cameron not happy about the call. She walks out towards midfield. And neither one of these coaches usually say too much.
Right.
They're two pretty quiet coaches. I can say that because I wasn't always quiet. I tried to. I promised myself before a lot of games, but about a minute in, I kind of broke that promise as Houlton keeps possession. Sierra Hoops looking to attack. Hoops with an opportunity, finds Marino. It's Marino and Barton. Marino puts a shot on. Not a lot on it, though. Willette goes to the ground. She makes a save. Perhaps a miscommunication there between Barton and Marino.
Yeah, so her and Barton kind of were occupying the same position. It's like, no, you have it. No, okay, you have it.
Two players playing one ball.
Yeah.
That can happen sometimes in soccer. DeLuca looks for the clearance. Finds Hoop. Her tough touch. Stays with it, though. She keeps possession for her team. It's going to be Henderson. Through ball looking for Barton. Barton can't get the touch. And as the ball is going to make its way out of bounds, Fort Kent, 16 minutes remaining. They're going to have a throw in. They're also going to have a substitute coming into the game here. As we will get Riley Sibley back into the game. Good move by Martin, battling against Olivia Henderson. And Henderson just misplays it, took her eye off the ball, picked her head up to try to find a teammate. You can see, Steve, how deep Tebow's now playing, though, for Fort Kent. They're kind of playing a little preventative. Could give Houlton an opportunity to have there's a pocket of space between Tebow and the rest of the defenders, but what she's trying to do is make sure at least she's going to make somebody beat her in order to get a shot off. So she's moved back a little bit. Because it's going to be Shaylee Gendreau on our side, working against Henderson. Finds her teammate, Martin. Gabby Martin looking to build up an attack. Gets by Howe. Plays a through ball on the ground. Nice ball. And the official has a flag up on the far side. It's going to be an offside.
Just a tad bit offside there.
How about the look, though, there from Martin? Perfect ball in, through along the ground. Easy for a teammate to handle. It was Philbrook, who was just off by a step or so. The wind now picks back up again. As you can hear it in our microphones, I'm sure.
Trying to protect the microphone with my hand, but not really doing much.
Can't do much here with these open windows. Ball's played out. Houlton's going to have a throw-in deep in their attacking third, as Marino is looking to put some pressure on. Houlton needs an equalizer. Fort Kent would like to try to keep them at bay. Ball's played in through. Barton with a touch to Henderson. Henderson trying to keep possession for her team. Ball's going to go out of bounds. The Shires will keep it. It was Kaylee Guimond playing the ball out of bounds. Isabel Ardell coming back into the game for Houlton. Olivia Henderson catch a breather. Probably won't sit too long with only 14 minutes remaining in regulation. Houlton trailing by a goal.
Yeah, Nancy Martin back in for Fort Kent.
And a good win up along the sideline, battling for it here. Kate Lamar working against Amelia Ivy. Ivy looking to shield. Goes down to one knee. The official's going to let the players play. And the ball's going to go out. And it's going to be, should be a Houlton ball, but that one's going to be missed. And won't miss that one as Rebecca Howe not making much of an attempt to play the ball. It's going to give Fort Kent an opportunity here with a dangerous set piece just outside the 18, probably 22 yards out.
It's going to be Pelletier to take it.
She's already shown us she's got the strength to put it on frame from here. Does not have to wait for a whistle. Here she goes. She puts a shot on. It's going to be a dangerous shot. Worthley with the one-handed punch save. Houlton fortunate as the ball took a funny bounce. Two players not following in on their marks. Fort Kent had a second chance at it, but unable to get a shot off. How about the save by Worthley?
Punched it out of there, gave up a rebound, but nobody from Fort Kent could hit it cleanly. And Houlton fortunate there, but nice job by Worthley to keep it a one-goal game.
Ivy plays a clearance ball. Up in through. Marino. Howe looks like she's a little gimpy on the other side of the field for Houlton. Probably out of camera shot as she's making her way towards midfield. She's having a tough time. Looks like maybe a Charlie horse. Olivia Henderson checks back up into the table. She'll come in on the next Houlton opportunity. Barton, nice cut. Finds Hoops. Hoops, she cuts it. Left-footed shot on frame. Willette makes a save. Nice save by Willette. Otherwise, that was going to be in the lower right-hand corner of the goal. Good left-footed shot by Hoops. Houlton's going to have a corner kick coming up.
Great patience by Hoops to get to that left foot. That's the foot she wants to get to. Fires it on net, but Willette, again, equal to the task. Got it with her right knee. Gives up the set piece. 12-10 left here in the second half. Houlton looking for the equalizer.
There's a short breather for Henderson as she was only out for 2 minutes. Isabella Ardell comes back to the Houlton bench. Howe sends the ball in through. It's curving in on the frame. It was lost for just a second. Willette needed some help from a teammate. I believe it was Tebow. Had to clear it out.
Tebow in the right spot. On a corner kick, you want one player on the near post, one on the far post. Just for that reason, Tebow in the right spot, able to get it away.
And had herself facing the proper direction. She didn't want to try to play the ball back up in through the middle. Is opportunity here, and it's going to be last touch, I believe, off of Kaylee Guimont. It is. It's going to be another opportunity here for Houlton. Howe is sending two good corners so far. Houlton's now going to change things up as far as which set piece they do. Again, another good ball. And
fourth time here.
Yeah, again, it's going to be played out. Let's see if the Shires change things up one more time. And they will. So showing Fort Kent a lot of different looks off these set pieces. Howe, good ball in. Headed right straight up. And right there to make the save was Willette. All the folks in green across the way held their collective breaths. Willette makes a save. 11 minutes now remaining here in this contest. It's still 2-1. Good opportunities there, though, for Houlton. Square ball played out to the far side of the field. It's going to go out of bounds. Houlton will have a throw in. This one's everything you could have asked for, Steve. A one-goal game. Both teams with good opportunities. Despite the fact that Mother Nature has not been real cooperative, both teams are doing their best to play through it, giving us an exciting game.
Absolutely.
Ball's going to be played out. Houlton again will have the throw.
Yeah, Daigle and Martin are getting set to check back in for the Warriors.
And another throw coming up here for Houlton as the ball advances up the field just a little bit. Every second counts here in this one, as we saw in the first half.
Yes,
Houlton nearly scoring. Here's going to be Marino with a possible chance. Willette tried to have the read. And
you got Jandros down on this end of the field. I believe she may have a cramp.
Yeah, she's going to need a sub. That'll give an opportunity, as you said, for the two players on the sideline, Larissa Daigle and Gabby Martin, to come into the game.
Jandros helped off.
And you can see, with a cold evening like this,
yep,
and if you could be low on fluids, how cramping could happen.
Absolutely.
Charlie Horse. We'll see how long she's out, as she does appear to be in some pain for sure. And now, Fort Kent sending in one more sub.
Here comes somebody off the field.
I believe that's Philbrook coming off. Is going on the field is going to be Nancy Martin.
Now they're
10 minutes remain. Howe with it for the Shires. Keeps possession, plays it through. Barton misplay. Cleared out of the back nicely by Hafford. Over right side, Sibley. Loses possession. One away by Kaylee Guimont. Here's Ivy for the Shires. Coming together with one of the Fort Kent players over on the far side. Fort Kent fans looking for a push. Houlton looking to build an attack. Henderson plays it to Barton, through pass. Looking to try to find Marino.
And that's where Tebow's playing back a little bit. She's preventing any sort of one of those through balls, looking for Marino.
Yeah, she doesn't want to at any point have to be turning and facing the goal. She
No.
wants her back to the goal,
Yep.
wants to see the entire field, be able to survey the play in front of her. As the ball will now, after a funny spin, go out of bounds. 9 minutes remain. Olivia Henderson with the throw in for the Shires. Olivia uses a cut, gets by her defender. Finds Marino. They've got on the far side, Emma Ardell. Coming in through, making a run from the back was Rebecca Howe. She was unable to get a touch. As the ball bouncing around, finally able to be cleared out, but Condon tries to put it right back in for the Shires. Again, Howe tries to settle and get a touch. She's going to come together with Guimond. Now Guimond pops up after she went down. Plays a header. Again, trying to milk some time off the clock if possible. Howe. She slowed up after she went down. As Ivy comes away with it. A nice thigh trap for the Shires. Ardell uses her wheels. You can see that speed over on the far side. We'll see who got the last touch on it. Ardell's going to be awarded with possession for Houlton. Ardell plays the ball in through. Headed out by Larissa Daigle, but the ball's right in the box. It's going to be Marino with the chance. She finds her teammate Henderson. Henderson couldn't catch up to it. She's still got possession in the box. Looks, finds Barton. Barton, long touch. Going to be cleared out and won away by the Warriors, but it's going to be a Houlton throw-in. Coming all the way over was Larissa Daigle to play the ball. Pelletier played it out. Condon was able to get the first touch for the Shires. Phillips touched too long, though. Back to Pelletier. DeLuca trying to keep possession here for the Houlton team. Just over 7 minutes remain. 2-1 Fort Kent. Well defended as Nancy Martin tried to split two Houlton defenders. The ball's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a Fort Kent throw-in.
Checking in for Fort Kent. Morgan Sear back in, as is Sydney Philbrook.
In just about 2 minutes, Steve, until that new rule that they implemented this year kicks in. If you're the team with the lead and there's under 5 minutes remaining, when you sub or send a substitute in, they're going to stop the clock each of those times, trying to prevent coaches with the lead from just killing clock. That's a new rule change implemented by, I don't know if that's just MPA or NFHS, but to begin this year, I'm assuming that's a National Federation rule.
I believe so. Did you ever use that tactic, Mr. Tweedy? You can admit it now that you're not a coach.
Killed about 27 minutes in the state championship with a 1-0 lead.
And you always sub for the person on the farthest end of the field.
You know it. Hey, it was within the rules. You play to the context of whatever the rules are.
Little gamesmanship. There's no stoppage time in high school soccer.
How? I think and many other people in my position would have done the same thing.
Absolutely. I would have.
It's Philbrook. Looks to make an attack. Went down on her knees. Lost possession. Howe comes up with it, but loses it out of bounds. Fort Kent here trying to keep possession in there, attacking third. This is where they'd like to keep the ball if at all possible. Pelletier with the throw to Condon. Here's Philbrook. She's going to put a crack on frame. Well defended, though, by DeLuca. Able to prevent the shot from getting through. Now it's Hoops. Again, she's got lots of space. She's going to send the ball up and through to Marino, but unable to catch up with it as it's going to make its way all the way down deep into the box. Willette just picks it up harmlessly.
There are just over 5 minutes to go here in the game, Tim. We'll see what Houlton does, see how, at what point do they start pushing Ivy and Howe and all their other players forward, try to create some more offensive pressure.
Normally they play 4-4-2. Do you go with a 4-3-3? Do you go with a 3-5-2? I mean, what are some of the things you can do to try to generate some players in more of an attacking type position? Under 5 minutes now remain. The throw in for Houlton. It's Hoops. Ball along the far side of the field is going to go out of bounds. Port Kent's going to have a throw in. And they're going to say it's going to be a Houlton throw in. Barton with it. For the Shires. She goes down. Ball sent up through, trying to find again Marino. She's got the lone goal here for Houlton here in this game. Taking him one away nicely by Gabby Martin. 4 minutes now left in this contest. Marino tried to flick a ball in the direction of Bree Barton. Two players come together. It's Gabby Martin and Emma Ardell. Holt will keep possession. Howe sends a ball up through to Marino. Tries to play it out wide to Henderson. Unable to do so. Barton was going to have a chance, and now a whistle. I don't really know. Houlton had an opportunity there. Try to give the advantage, but those are tough calls as far as how long you allow that to go. The official's going to stop the clock as it looks like Emma Ardell is a little lame, perhaps has some blood. We'll have to see. She's going to sprint off the field, so Coach Marina Cameron, I should say, has to look to her bench and see who she wants to bring in. As it's going to be Elena Ardell. So the third member of this Ardell crew for the Shires team is going to come into the game. As Emma's dealing with a bloody nose, we can see it from here.
Dangerous opportunity here for Fort Kent with Howe behind this with the wind at her back.
On a very similar play last year. You would remember Hoops came in and volleyed this ball in. The ball was maybe just a tad deeper than where it is now. Howe with a rip, puts it on frame. Ouellette with a nice clean save. It was a good shot. It was on frame by Howe, but the goalkeeper up to the task.
Great job by Ouellette. Read that perfectly. Caught it cleanly. Didn't allow for a rebound opportunity for Houlton.
At midfield, a couple players come together. It's going to be Howe, and Houlton's going to get the call. Howe and Pelletier came together. That one was a 50-50. Howe is now down. The official checking on her to see if she's going to be able to continue. There's just over 3 minutes left in regulation. Howe with the set piece, sends it in. It's going to be touched and hasn't made its way out yet. It now will. It's going to be a goal kick. Olivia Henderson tried for the left-footed touch, just could not come up with it. Fort Kent's going to have a goal kick opportunity. Both Ouellette and Tebow are there. It's going to be Tebow who takes it. Hangs up just a little bit. Hoops. Elena Ardell come together. Hoops is going to have a chance at it. She's got open space. She puts a shot on. It's going to go wide. Ouellette wasn't sure whether it was wide or not. She decides to come out and make the save. She can't handle it cleanly. Houlton's going to have a corner kick. 2.5 minutes left, Steve.
Yeah, Houlton had 4 cracks at it in one possession earlier. They ended up getting a shot on frame. We'll see if they can do it here, but tense moments. They're getting pretty much everybody forward now in the box.
Can't really blame Ouellette for wanting to make the save. She wasn't quite sure.
Better be
100%.
safe than sorry.
It's going to make its way in. Redirected. Nice save by Ouellette. As that was on frame, a header towards the corner. Ouellette there to make the save. Emma Ardell, I should say, back in. Precious seconds are ticking off. As there's an extra ball on the field, Elena Ardell now is off the field as Emma is back on. She got the nosebleed cleared up. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining here in regulation. Houlton finds themselves down by 1. They've got the ball as it's going to be struck and played out of bounds again by Fort Kent.
It's like deja vu. They're getting now a third crack at it.
With another opportunity. They don't want to waste much time. This ball's going to come in. Another good opportunity off the head of the keeper. It's in the goal! Houlton has tied it up with 1 minute, 16 seconds remaining. I believe that was Isabella Ardell with the goal. It is number 6, the sub coming into the game. She picks up the goal. We're knotted at 2 goals apiece.
Third time is the charm, Tim.
I guess Coach Neto was right. As the third goal was an important one. Oh, third opportunity on the corner. There you go.
Corner kick.
I got you, Steve.
Ouellette aggressive there off the corner kick. Went off her fingertips, but Ardell right there to put it in the back of the net. Tied it 2. 1 minute 16 to go.
What a soccer game here tonight at the Johnson Athletic Complex here in Presque Isle. Everything a championship game should be. Holt tying it up with 1 minute 16 remaining. Philbrook with it for Fort Kent into the middle of the field. Pelletier tries to play it through. Ivy is there. 1 minute remaining here in regulation as the ball is going to go out and wide. Holt with the throw in. Condon plays it up along the near sideline. It was one away by Nancy Martin. Throw in through. Hoops comes away with it. Hoops looks to turn on. Finds Martin. 30 seconds remaining. Ivy tries to play through. Tough touch as Philbrook right there. Worthley comes out. The goal's open. And it's going to be played out for throw-in. 20 seconds now remain. Fort Kent's going to try to get everybody up if possible here. Hal comes out, plays the ball. Houlton would like to just play it out. As Ivy misplays it. The ball's out. There's going to be a shot opportunity coming up for Sears. She hits it just wide. She had a good look. It's a goal. And as you can hear our PA announcer count down, we are headed to overtime.
A little bit of free soccer, Mr. Tweedy.
My
what a game.
Goodness.
What a game.
It's been a great game. Fort Kent, with the lone goal in the first half, took a 1-0 lead into halftime. They picked up the first goal of the second half. The Shires have been able to answer with a minute 16 remaining. It was substitute Isabella Ardell coming in and picking up the goal. And so we are headed to overtime, as you said.
How fitting is this, though, for these two teams?
Perfect.
I mean, two best teams in Class C, both from the counties. One in Northern Aroostook County, the other in Southern Aroostook County. Going into overtime for the Class C title on the Northern Maine side. Great game, Tweedy.
The players from both teams are going to have to wait a few more minutes until they have an opportunity to punch their ticket into the state championship. We want to take a break here on WHOU. It's going to be about a 3-minute break as they're going to come out and do another coin flip and kind of reset some things. We'll go over how it's going to work when we come back in 3 minutes here on WHOU.
Excellence at ground level is what you get with J. McLaughlin Construction in Houlton. Founded in 2012, the company plans the construction of streets, residential areas, and commercial buildings, and they are involved in both public and private projects. Their high-quality work and many years of experience have earned them an excellent reputation and a loyal client base. Regardless of whether you need a detailed plan for a building or would like to build a road, J. McLaughlin Construction is your reliable partner for all your engineering needs. Call J. McLaughlin Construction at 532-6335 or 694-2546.
Sorry, Dad.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. Because as long as Mr. It wasn't my fault takes the wheel on occasion, maintaining this car is your best option. So keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Dad, where are you going?
The station that loves classic hits as much as you do.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack.
Ooh, baby, I love your way.
Maybe more, because we can't stop. Here's more classic hits in a row.
The best hits. WHOU.
The best hits. 100.1 WHOU.
The time to swap, drop, and roll at the County Federal Credit Union has been extended through November 8th. Call, click, or come to the County Federal Credit Union. Swap your current car loan with another lender. We'll drop your rate by at least 1%. Plus, you could walk out with a $150 roll of cash. And if we can't drop your rate, we'll pay you $15. Swap, drop, and roll extended for another week through November 8th at the County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender, countyfcu.org.
Hi from Jeans, where you'll find better TV and more ways to enjoy it. Get 190 channels for $59.99 a month with Dish. Plus, get a free voice remote on us. And remember, we're also trained Nest Pros and deliver white glove service for all kinds of smart home solutions, like the Google Nest Learning Thermostat or the Google Nest Cam Outdoor, which lets you look after your home from anywhere so you can travel worry-free. So come and visit our newest location on Stillwater in Bangor, or visit us online to find a local store near you.
Excellence at ground level is what you get with J. McLaughlin Construction in Houlton. Founded in 2012, the company plans the construction of streets, residential areas, and commercial buildings, and they are involved in both public and private projects. Their high-quality work and many years of experience have earned them an excellent reputation and a loyal client base. Regardless of whether you need a detailed plan for a building or would like to build a road, J. McLaughlin Construction is your reliable partner for all your engineering needs. Call
WHOU getting ready for overtime in the Class C Girls Northern Maine Regional Finals. It's Fort Kent Houlton, number 1, number 3. Two teams that split on the season, and just like it probably should be, these two teams are going to have to play some extra soccer as they are tied at 2. It is a golden goal scenario, so the first team to score does win. It's not like you might see in, say, World Cup soccer where they play the time no matter what. Each overtime is 15 minutes at maximum length. If needed, they'll play the first one, and then they'd take a 2-minute break and then would have a second 15-minute overtime if no one were to score in the first one. The teams are going to go in the same exact directions that they were for the second half. Houlton's going to keep the wind at their backs. They're going to travel from left to right on your screen. Fort Kent going right to left, and right now they've got an opportunity as Amanda Tebow is going to come up with a set piece as a trip was called on Houlton. Tebow unable to get the ball into the box against the wind. Leah Pelletier came away with it. The ball is still, though, in the 18 as Pelletier played a little through ball. A lot of players thought it was going to go for a goal kick.
I believe it was 2 years ago these teams played, and it came down to penalty kicks. What, 2 years ago or 3 years ago? It was Colleen Bouchard's, I think, senior year.
No, that
junior.
would have been Colleen's freshman year, actually.
Was it that for long? Man, all the years blend together, Tim, I'll tell you what.
Perhaps her sophomore year. It was one of those two. I do remember the game well. That year, Fort Kent ended up winning. They went to the States. But you're right here.
Yep.
That would have been Emily Moores was a senior. Madeline Anderson on that team, I know, for the Houlton team.
I don't know if Chelsea Gentle was on that team, too, or not.
She would have. So I think that would have been Chelsea's junior year.
Yep.
Natalie Hill. Of course, Katie Condon, who's on the
assistant
bench
coach.
as the assistant coach. Pretty good athlete in her own right. Fort Kent with possession. Philbrook with an opportunity. Left-footed shot. Sends it in. Worthley able to come up with it cleanly as, again, it is wet, and it continues to rain. Both goalkeepers have done a nice job of coming away with things cleanly on a night that the conditions are less than an ideal condition if you're a goalkeeper. Pelletier doing a nice job for Fort Kent to keep possession for the Warrior team. Gabby Martin looking to attack. Ivy right there. Ivy and Martin going at it. Over on the far side of the field, it's going to be a Fort Kent throw-in. And we've got a whistle. And it looks like Leah Pelletier has to come off the field as they stop the clock with 12:26 remaining here in the first overtime. She scored the first goal of the game off a corner kick. She just hit a one-touch volley into the corner of the net. But right now she's in some pain and she's having to come out. But she's got a smile on her face, so she doesn't appear to be in too much pain, Steve. We'll see if they can get her back into the game. She, too, looks like she's dealing with some cramping issues. Not the first player we've seen that from tonight. How about the folks across the way? They're nice and loud as they've braved the weather here this evening. You know, we're complaining about it standing in the window as finally Fort Kent's able to get their substitution into the game as Coach Doug Sear looked down his bench and wanted to think about who he wanted to put in. He chooses Kate Lamar wearing number 21. Houlton able to clear the ball away. Steve, I got the answer from that from my wife, Erica. It was the year our third child, Leo, our third son, was born. That was back in 2014. I say that because he was 2 days old and he made it. Actually,
I do remember that.
He was about 36 hours old, and my wife was able to escape from the hospital, and the two of them made the game.
I do remember that now. Yep.
Howe plays the ball up and through. Skipped. Guimon, I believe, touched the last. Hoops was there as well. Ardell, unsure of who it was who got the last touch, decides she wants to try to play the ball. She nearly came away with it. Roy doing a nice job defending, and it's going to be played out. Houlton will have a throw in. Bree Barton looks to turn. She does. Going to fire a shot in. Nice save by Willette.
Great save.
Marino and Henderson right there on the doorstep waiting for a rebound, but Willette comes up with it cleanly. There's no rebound there. Keeps the score knotted at 2. Olivia Henderson uses a couple cuts, gets by her defender, Lamar, who had just come into the game. She now serves a square pass in through to Hoops. Hoops looking to try to find the target, Marino. She had the first goal for Houlton. She leads Houlton in scoring here in the playoffs. And in the corner, doing a nice job, was Marino to try to keep possession for this Houlton team. They're going to have a throw in deep, as it was Nancy Martin who just ran out of room before the ball went out over the sideline. Houlton throw in coming up. Trying to find Barton. It was Phillips. And eventually it's going to be Henderson who plays it out of bounds. So Olivia unable to come up with it. It's going to be a goal kick coming up for Fort Kent.
Fort Kent looked to go quickly, but they're going to have to bring it back and do it again.
As the ball apparently not settled before it was touched. 10 minutes remaining here in what could be the first of two overtimes. Emma Ardell with a nice win. Elizabeth Phillips is going to have a crack at it. Unable to get off a shot. Well defended by Guimond. Able to prevent the shot.
Yeah, great block. Took away the space there. Able to slide in, block the shot attempt.
Sam Condon plays it over. Olivia Henderson tries a cut. Finds Marino, stays on her feet, sends a ball in, and they're going to say it was not touched. Close to a couple players. Lindsay Willett lets it go out. Going to be another goal kick coming up here for the Warriors. It's a short one. Good touch by Lamar, though. Able to work her way around. Olivia Henderson finds Philbrook up top. Looking over far side is Sibley. Loses it, though. Won away by Amelia Ivy. Here's Gabby Martin, always dangerous. Loses the ball. Two players come together, 50-50 ball. Houlton's going to come away with it as the ball's played down along the far sideline. It's going to stay in play. And smartly played by Bree Tebow. She just waited for Bree Barton to come in and then played it off Barton's foot. Steve, we would be remiss if we didn't mention, now that we're in overtime, that play where a lot of folks thought it could have been a penalty kick, because there was a lot of contact in the box.
It's true.
Could have made it at that time a 3-1 game. Instead, Houlton able to get the equalizer with just over a minute remaining. A lot of folks are going to go home and want to watch that on replay.
They'll pay the $5 to go back and watch.
Yeah, they'll steal their friend's credit card.
Yeah.
That'd be well worth it.
Yeah.
You're getting bonus soccer tonight. A couple players battling. It's Hafford and Olivia Henderson. It's going to be Houlton ball. The throw in comes to Henderson. Olivia against Lamar. Finds Barton. Barton looking to try to turn. Plays it back. Find Hoops. Sierra puts a shot up. And Willette's going to make the save, as it was kind of a bouncing ball in the box.
Yeah, Houlton controlling play right now on the right side of the field.
Seems like it was a long time ago. We talked at the beginning of the second half about how Lamar really kind of had to make her first save. You know, Houlton put a couple shots on, but she wasn't required to make saves. His hit post and crossbar there, or shot it just wide. But she's had to play big here in the second half. So Houlton's had a lot of opportunities. Of course, they've had the wind. Said from the get-go it was likely to be a factor, and it has been. Ivy with all kinds of pressure from Philbrook, able to win it on the second opportunity. It's Henderson. Playing a ball across. Hoops. The other piece is, Steve, you know, you get into moments like this, a lot of times you find out which team is better conditioned.
Right.
They've been pretty equally, playing pretty equally so far in this first overtime, but the longer this game goes on, the regular season, your overtimes are only 5 minutes.
Yeah, so you're over 90 minutes of soccer now and playing on a pretty big field.
Sure are. Howe looks to play a through ball in. Finds Marino. Hoops. Finds Barton. Barton can't quite get to settle. Roy tried to settle. Ardell's there. Emma Ardell couldn't get the shot off. How about the play, though, by Bree Tebow, as she stayed right there defending. Wouldn't allow Ardell to get the shot off. Otherwise, it would have been just Ardell and Willette.
Corner kick. This is where Houlton got the equalizer there at the end of the second half.
Both teams have scored on a corner kick. Fort Kent, the first goal of the game. Houlton, the goal late. Ball in the box. Unable to get a shot on. Now a shot is coming in from the far side. A defender. That's a set play that Houlton has as they look for the far side defender. Sam Condon leaking in on the far side. Put a shot on. Saved by Willette. Houlton's going to have another corner.
Now just from the other side. Just have to play the ball a little bit further to the top of the 18-yard line, the box, since it'll start turning to the right.
Howe sends it in. This one's a low screecher. You could see what Hoops wanted to do. Just got a bad touch on it. Otherwise, she was trying to get a one-touch here in the near post, trying to finish. And Leah Pelletier coming back in, so she's got the cramp worked out. 5 minutes remaining here in the first overtime. Both teams with a couple opportunities. Houlton probably with more opportunities, but Fort Kent with a good opportunity here. Had wide open Morgan Sear on the far side. Now they find Sear. She's got a touch. Well defended, though, by Olivia Henderson, the midfielder, getting back. Otherwise, that would have been a point-blank opportunity for Fort Kent.
If Philbrook could have get that first pass to Sear on this near side, she would have had plenty of room to make a decision. Nobody was near.
Here's Olivia Henderson. Again, tries to play a through ball. Looking for Marino. Stepped in nicely, one away by Hafford. Hafford finds Philbrook. Good cut. Gets by Howe. Gabby Martin. Right there, though, is a freshman DeLuca. She's able to temporarily win the ball away for Houlton, and now Martin with it. Again for Fort Kent. Going to be played out of bounds. Emma Ardell will kick it out the far sideline. Fort Kent will have a throw-in coming up. Ellie Searwalk coming into the game. I believe this is her first moments, isn't it, Steve?
I think so.
Talk about throwing somebody into the pressure cooker. First moments of the game here in the first overtime. It's only the regional finals. Barton plays the ball in through. Miscommunication between Phillips and Hoops. Got to give Fort Kent another crack at it. Square pass by Philbrook. And as it was Ivy looking to play the ball away, Fort Kent's going to keep possession. Olivia Henderson thought about playing it back to a teammate instead. He's going to go up this near sideline on a throw-in as the ball will go out of bounds. Marino plays it back. Instead, though, it's to Sirwa of Fort Kent. Martin has DeLuca on her back. Plays it to Philbrook. And Ivy plays the ball out of bounds.
Corner kick.
Under 3 minutes remaining here. Score tied at 2. It's the first overtime. Fort Kent scored on a corner kick earlier in the game. Leah Pelletier got the goal on the corner the first time. She's down again on the field as she's struggling with something as the official will stop the clock with now about 2.5 minutes. And just as we were saying, Leah Pelletier scored earlier in the game. She had to go down on the ground. As whatever it was she came off for before, which appeared to be cramps, it's apparently bothering her again.
Is she able to work out the cramp on the near side here, but it looks like it's bothering her once again. She'll have to come out. Sue Fort Kent throws in there for a sub.
For Houlton, coming into the game is going to be Isabella Ardell. She scored the equalizer. Again, just over a minute left in regulation. Coming in for Pelletier is going to be number 16, Larissa Daigle. Larissa, a freshman. She's gotten some pretty good minutes here in this contest. Corner kick comes in and hits side netting. As Gabby Martin sent the ball in, but
just 2:20 remaining in this first overtime, Tim. Houlton, with the wind at their back, running at a time with the advantage.
Yeah, the complexion of the game could change come the next overtime, as we've seen 3 of the 4 goals scored with the wind at their backs. Both teams with an opportunity at the ball right at midfield. Worthley elects to not come out and play it. Houlton trying to retain possession. As Henderson working hard. She runs out of room. Ball's going to go out over the sideline. Now near the top of the box, I should say. Howe comes away with the win for the Shires. Now Condon. Searwell with it for Kent. Henderson tries to turn. Instead, well defended and one away, but it's going to trickle out of bounds. That was Nancy Martin doing a good job for Kent. Henderson's throw in for Houlton comes to Barton. Barton, player on her back, looking to try to make a turn. She does. See if she can get a cross off. She's got some room now. Barton keeps the ball on her foot. Tries a left-footed shot. Not much on it. May have been deflected. Lindsay Willett comes up with the soccer ball. A minute remains here in the first overtime. Tied at 2. Willett's punt. Out near midfield. Here's DeLuca battling against Martin. Marino tried to lay a touch pass off to Olivia Henderson. Instead, Henderson's there. Both teams starting to look a little bit tired, Steve, as they've slowed down a little bit. Condon with a misplay in the back. Phil Brooks right there. Condon, though, able to recover. Plays the ball to Ivy. Here's Martin. She's back more in the midfield. You can see what Coach Sear elected to do. I think his plan was obviously take her goal if you can get one, but he's got Martin, one of their more prolific goal scorers, back in the midfield instead of her normal position up top, realizing that if they can hold Houlton scoreless, they'll have 15 minutes to try to get a goal. Here's going to be a good opportunity here for Fort Kent, though. Under 10 seconds. They've got a set piece as the whistle came. And there's no goals here as the clock sounds in the first overtime. That means we're going to have another overtime coming up. We'll take a 2-minute break and warm up just a little bit. Come back for the second overtime here on WHOU. Back in 2 minutes.
Sorry, Dad.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. Because as long as Mr. It wasn't my fault takes the wheel on occasion, maintaining this car is your best option. So keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Dad, where are you going?
The station that loves classic hits as much as you do.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack.
Ooh, baby, I love your way.
Maybe more, because we can't stop. Here's more classic hits in a row.
The best hits. WHOU.
The best hits. 100.1 WHOU.
The time to swap, drop, and roll at the County Federal Credit Union has been extended through November 8th. Call, click, or come to the County Federal Credit Union. Swap your current car loan with another lender. We'll drop your rate by at least 1%. Plus, you could walk out with a $150 roll of cash. And if we can't drop your rate, we'll pay you $15. Swap, drop, and roll extended for another week through November 8th at the County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender, countyfcu.org.
Hi from Jeans, where you'll find better TV and more ways to enjoy it. Get 190 channels for $59.99 a month with Dish. Plus, get a free voice remote on us. And remember, we're also trained Nest Pros and deliver white glove service for all kinds of smart home solutions, like the Google Nest Learning Thermostat or the Google Nest Cam Outdoor, which lets you look after your home from anywhere so you can travel worry-free. So come and visit our newest location on Stillwater in Bangor, or visit us online to find a local store near you.
Second overtime on WHOU. It's Houlton going to have the kickoff. They've swapped directions. Fort Kent now has the wind at their backs. Score tied 2 goals apiece. No more overtimes after this. There's either going to be a goal in the next 15 minutes or they're going to go to penalty kicks. We will know shortly. As Houlton looked to try to find Maddie Marino. Ball was deflected out of bounds. It's a Fort Kent throw. That ball is going to hit the official, Mr. Thibodeau, in the middle. Guy's only gone out there and run for the past 2 hours, and now he's getting struck with errant soccer balls. Ardell looks to play a ball over along the far side. Look for Phillips. Coming away with it, though, for Fort Kent is going to be Gabby Martin, but she's going to let a shot fly perhaps a little bit too early. She was maybe 35 yards out.
But
she can strike it well.
You never know.
But it looked like she maybe had time for a few more touches. It's going to be a Houlton goal kick coming up. Rebecca Howe takes the goal kick. One away by Olivia Henderson. Olivia plays the ball. Going to be Sirwa playing a ball through. Olivia down on the turf, and she needs some help up from a teammate as she's gimpy. A number of players out there, Steve, are starting to wear down a little bit.
Yeah, see Pelletier stretching here on the near side. Seen Henderson come up with cramps. A few other players.
Of course, it's cold, and both of these two teams not used to playing a ton of overtime games in the season. As it's going to be a foul called against Sierra Hoops. Fort Kent's going to have an opportunity. We're going to call it about 25 yards out. I believe that's going to be Martin. It is. And instead now they're going to switch up. They're going to go with Thibault coming up from the back. They've got the win, so she certainly's got the leg strength to put it on frame. We'll see what Fort Kent elects to do. Thibault puts a rip on, and a low screecher bounced just in front of Worthley. Yeah. Not only does she come up with it, she comes up with it cleanly. Yep. Nice save there by the senior goalkeeper. And we've had this whole game, all kinds of things to talk about. We should mention that for Abby Worthley, she's been a field player for 3 years, and it wasn't until the graduation of Tessa Solomon and Coach Cameron kind of looked around in the summer and says, okay, what are we going to do for goalkeeper? She tried a number of players out, and Worthley said she was glad to do it. As it's going to be Natalie DeLuca whistled for hands in the back. So Fort Kent will have the direct kick just on their side of midfield. Thibault again will be the player to take the kick. Amanda surveys the field, now plays the ball. In through, though, it's going to be one away by Rebecca Howe. It's Bree Barton with a missed touch. Marino putting some pressure on. Second opportunity, one away. This time it's Thibault. Fort Kent looking to generate an attack. Daigle up and through. Bilbrook tries to turn. Can't get that shot off as it was blocked. Combination of both Condon and Ivy there. And a second shot put on. Once again, it's Abby Worthley there to make the save.
Yeah, Martin's had a couple chances here so far in the second overtime. She's really been on the ball all night long for Fort Kent.
She's a strong player. Howe looks to try to play the ball wide for Houlton. One away. As that is Ellie Sirwa battling against Olivia Henderson. Tries for the slide tackle. Henderson able to use one cut. Beats one player, two players. Now Houlton look to build an attack. It's Barton. Plays it over wide. Hoops can't get the touch. And she was trying to tell the officials that the ball had been touched. Either way, it's going to be a Fort Kent throw on the opposite side. We're going to see Larissa Daigle come out. I believe it was Sibley who went back in. Ivy with pressure on her back from Sear. Plays the ball out. Fort Kent's going to have a throw in. Way deep in their attacking third. Just over 10 minutes left here in the second overtime. Score still tied at 2. Ivy.
Good communication that time from Condon and Ivy. Ivy called her off, able to concede the throw-in.
Ivy, the senior center back here for the Shires, as she so often does, takes control. She and Thibault, both senior center backs, both field generals. As we see Marino putting all kinds of pressure over on the far side, and she does enough to earn her team a throw-in. As it was last touched out of bounds by Fort Kent. Here's Marino battling far side. From us, it's Marino and Nancy Martin. Marino's going to come away with it. She sends a cross off, and Barton can't quite catch up to it. As Willette comes out and makes the save. How about the job over on the far side, though, by Marino?
Crafty. Long
skip ball up in through off the punt. Ivy has to play it. That's the way you generate some offense if you're Fort Kent. Off the punt. It's already Houlton's center back having to play the ball off the first player to touch it. Phillips with Martin. Martin doesn't need much space. She turns, but it's going to be wide.
Target.
9 minutes remain. Houlton's going to have a goal kick coming up.
Houlton hasn't given Fort Kent much space, though. I mean, they're playing pretty defensive-oriented right now, not allowing Fort Kent, with that wind, to have any shots in close range. They're keeping Martin about 25 yards out.
Yep. Shire's decided that they'll live with that. Emma Ardell, I should say. Her touch is too long. It's going to be a Fort Kent throw. Here's Pelletier back into the game as she will check in for Ellie Sirwa. Riley Sibley. She takes the throw. It's going to be one away here by Sear. Left-footed cross in the box. Misplayed by a couple players on each team. Now it's going to be Martin and Ivy battling for it. And it's going to be played out, and it's going to be a corner kick coming up as Hoops played it. Fort Kent has a corner kick coming. Again, each team has already scored off a corner in this game, Steve, and they've had a bunch of other opportunities on corners. Gabby Martin once again will take it here for the Warriors. Nice ball in the box, right around the 6th. Leah Pelletier's right there. It's knocking on the doorstep, and Fort Kent comes up with it. I believe it was Pelletier who was right there. The Fort Kent Warriors, for the second year in a row, are going back to the state championship. 7:40 remaining here in the second overtime. They pick up the 3-2 win. Steve, how about the ball played in by Martin? We said, she's been dangerous on them all game long.
Second connection they've had off a set piece today. Pelletier just came back into the game after getting caught with cramps there for the second time in this overtime. Scores the golden goal, sends Fort Kent to another state championship. But how about Pelletier? That's twice off a set piece, off a corner kick with Martin with the perfect ball in. Off the rebound, Worthley made the initial save, but Pelletier right there for the rebound and sends Fort Kent to another state championship game.
And once from each side. The first corner kick came from over on this near side to us, the other one on the far side of the field. And it looked like her first touch wasn't quite clean. The ball kind of sat there with inside the 6. And second effort, she was able to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yes. Tough for Houlton. Came back. They're down 2-0. Fought their way back in the second half. Tied it at 2, sent it to overtime. But Fort Kent, it really was the set pieces. On both sides. That's how Houlton got a goal. That's how Fort Kent got 2 goals. It's just those set pieces can be neutralizers even with the win or without the win.
Yeah, no question about it. And some tears over on the side here for the the Houlton girls as they battled all game long. It took until 7:40 remaining in the second overtime for this one to be decided. A bunch of seniors on that Houlton sideline. For those kids, Steve, they made it to they won one state championship. They made it to 2 regional championships and 1 semifinal loss to the eventual champions last year, Fort Kent, in what was a 1-0 game.
It's a heartbreaking way to lose. You put in all that effort all season long, and for the seniors for 4 years, you have so much success. You work all season long. You get to this game. You go to overtime, to the second overtime, and you lose by 1 goal. It's heartbreaking, but Houlton has nothing to hang their heads on about. They played a great game. They played really hard and fought their way back, but just couldn't come out on top against a really talented Fort Kent team. 2
pretty evenly matched teams, and now Fort Kent would like to make it 3 years in a row, which the gold ball stays in Aroostook County 2 years in a row for them if they can, as we'll have to await to hear who they will play, but they will be playing in the state championship in Falmouth. That game will take place on Saturday.
It's going to be quite a bus ride.
Yeah,
on to Falmouth. That's a long ways to go from northern Aroostook County.
No question about it. You got to assume that they're going to go down on Friday, I would assume, and try to get down there early. Maybe get a practice in somewhere, as I'm sure all of those things will come together over the next day or so, or probably the next 24 hours, as it's something you got to carefully plan for, no question about it. And as we wait for the award ceremony, Steve, just a great game. As you said, 5 goals in all. It was a 3-2 final. 3 of those goals came off set pieces. It's what a championship game should be played like.
Yeah, especially between these two teams. I mean, such great programs. To come down to the wire like that, it's really the only fitting end that you would want for two talented teams and two great programs. And Fort Kent comes out on top. They'll go to another state title, but Houlton, I said they'll be back next year.
I don't think there's much either team can really say and can complain about. Again, a number of opportunities where there was some great saves by each goalkeeper. Houlton hit crossbar or post. I think it was a post in the, just last seconds of the first half. Fort Kent could argue that they deserved a PK at one point.
Sure.
So all those things kind of equaled out. They get into the 2 overtimes, and eventually it's Fort Kent coming away with the win. Again, about as evenly and fair played of a match as you're going to find. Good officiating. A lot of brave fans who stuck around to watch this one. The heaters are going to be cranked up. I'm sure most people are going to keep it on high till they get back to either Houlton or Fort Kent, whichever place their final destination is going to be. There's going to be some cold fans who stuck around to watch this one.
Very chilly. Started off as a beautiful night, but then once the rain started falling and the wind picked up, it got pretty frigid up here, and I can't even imagine how it was out in the stands with no cover.
No, it was cold just watching those folks from up here where we sit.
We sit with the awards ceremony now. As Fort Kent will move on to a state championship. Reminder, tomorrow night we got 2 more games for you. Central Aroostook, Penobscot Valley, both schools in the Class D finals. Boys will play at 4, girls at 6:30. We'll also have the Caribou MDI final from Hamden Academy. That game's at 4 o'clock. So plenty more soccer action coming your way tomorrow.
We're really looking forward to those. Another couple schools with really strong tradition. Central Aroostook and
PVHS.
Yeah, the folks from Howland. And a rematch on the boys' side from last year. Of course, the PVHS girls, always good. Coach Ryan Reed always has his team prepared. Coach Joe Levesque's team came up a little short in the state championship last year after winning the Northern Regionals, so they'd like to have another crack at coming home with some hardware.
Yeah, another trip, looking for another trip to the state championship. They beat Ashland, the team they beat last year in the Northern Main Final. They beat them in the semis, so they play Penobscot Valley tomorrow. And I'm really looking forward to that game. But let's send it over to Diane Levitt. Let's get the award ceremony for Houlton and Fort Kent.
Symbolic of the 2019 Northern Maine Regional Girls Class C Soccer runner-up. Congratulations.
And again, that's the Houlton girls accepting the regional runner-up plaque as they present that plaque to their fans. Finishing their season with a record of 14-3. And now we'll see the presentation here for the champion Fort Kent Lady Warriors.
And now, introducing the awards to the Warriors of Fort Kent High School. I would ask head coach, Mr. Doug Sears, volunteer coaches, Michelle Lovely and assistant coach Valerie McBriarty, to please come forward and assist to the presentation of awards. First, for the freshman, Peyton Whitson, Larissa Daigle. Sophomores, Ellie Sila, Allie Morgan, Shay Lamonti, Mallory Sila, Morgan Sear, Nancy Martin. For the juniors, Lindsay Willett, Lacey Peltier, Gabby Martin, Shaylee Gendron, Kate Lamar, and Sydney Philbrook. And the seniors, Amanda Thibault, Kaylee Guimond, Riley Sidley, Desiree Hafford, manager Emma Depre, and Samantha Roy. And now, would the captains please come forward? On behalf of the Maine Principals Association, I would like to present this plaque symbolic of the 2019 Northern Maine Regional Girls Class C Soccer Champions to the Warriors of Fort Kent Community High School. Congratulations and best of luck in the state championship game on Saturday at Falmouth High School at 6:30 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
All right, well, that'll about wrap it up here on WHOU. As Steve, a good game, and it's Fort Kent back-to-back Northern Maine Championships, trying to make it back-to-back state championships. We just heard they're going to play 6:30 p.m. at Falmouth High School on Saturday. I'm sure a lot of folks from up in the valley will make their way down to cheer on the Lady Warriors.
Yeah, I'd say Fort Kent just a really talented team with Martin up front and with Philbrook as well. Out in the back you have Thibault and Willette in net. And just a well-rounded team, and hoping they can bring it back. I mean, you're not supposed to be biased as broadcasters, but, I mean, we're both from the county. And
that's right.
I say if Fort Kent can bring it home, that'll make a lot of people from Aroostook County happy.
Absolutely. You like to try to be able to keep that in the region if at all possible.
Yep.
So Fort Kent will try to do that once again. For us here from the Johnson Athletic Complex here in Presque Isle, we want to thank you for tuning in to this broadcast on WHU. Had an awful lot of fun tonight, Steve, bringing it to the folks at home. We elected to stay warm.
Yep.
And not brave the cold. We don't blame you. We didn't either. We were in under shelter.
Yes.
And so we'll
be back tomorrow. Do it again.
We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget to tune in. It's going to be a double dip between Central Aroostook and the folks from Howland PVHS making their way up here to the Star City for 2 games that we will bring you here on WHOU. So make sure you tune in for those. For us here tonight, we want to make sure we thank everybody who helped make this game possible. We want to first of all thank Mr. Marco Almonte as he's back at the station. He kept us straight tonight running production. We also want to thank our cameraman, John Humphrey, doing a nice job For my color man, Steve Carmichael, I am Tim Tweedy signing off here from the Johnson Athletic Complex. But again, tune in tomorrow night as we will have a doubleheader between Central Aroostook and Penobscot Valley. Thanks for watching, everyone.